Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
That's bullshit.
Oh, hello, my delightful delinquents. It's nice to see you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Gavin Games for the 6th of the February. It is nice to see all the people. What's the story of you shitting in the bed and laying in it? You mean this. Where did it go? Hang on. You mean the soundbite where I say this. When I vomited in the bed, I just laid in it. I'm not even fucking with you. What you're talking about there, what I'm talking about there, it wasn't shitting the bed. It was, I had vertigo. Second time I had vertigo. And I knew what it was, but I didn't have any medicine with me. And it was just miserable. And if you've ever had vertigo, I've had it twice in my life. It is one of the most, at least from my experience, just one of the most awful feelings you can experience. Maybe dehydration was worse, right? And you feel so bad, and it sucks because when you vomit a lot, you get dehydrated, so you get like a double whammy. So anyway, you feel so bad when you have vertigo and when, you know, that you just don't want to move. Any kind of motion is horrific, right? So I was throwing up, and I was in the bathroom throwing up in the toilet, and I finally made it to the bed. I'm like, I'm just going to lay here and be calm. And then another wave of the vomitorium arrived in my brain. Fuck you. It arrived in my life, and I vomited in the bed. And what most people would do would say, thank you, JJD. What most people would do would say, oh, well, shit, I just vomited all over myself, and it's in my bed, and I should get up. But I'm like, no, I will not move. This is the only thing that brings me peace. And if I'm going to lay here in a pile of fucking Rubio's black bean burrito vomit, I don't know what it was, but God, it's good they're not one of our sponsors. Get a Rubio's taco today. Home of the fish taco. Yeah, I just laid in it. It's totally fucking true. Yeah, Eric says I got a spoon and ate it up. And Mutimo says that's hot. I'm sure it is for some people. But it was, oh my God, yeah. Death Proof says I had vertigo twice while driving. Man, how do you, I mean, I guess you're able to just sort of get off the road and be safe, but fuck, man. Yeah, it's insane. Both times I've had it, I've been to the ER, but now I have medicine and I have vomit bags and they're all sitting there by the bedside. And I'm like, all right, you know, the scariest part is when you have it, if you ever have it and you have it for the first time and, you think you're having a stroke. You're like, there's no way I'm having, what is this? What is this experience I'm having? Because you know, and I went to the ER and I was telling the doctor, I'm like, my wife was with me at the time, or my wife at the time was with me. And I said, just look, tell the kids I adore them. I adore you, blah, blah, blah. And the doctor's like, dude, is vertigo. You're not having a stroke. I'm like, oh, thank God. Yeah, somebody, who was it? It said, Charles Darwin says, I thought the punchline was going to be the dog must have cleaned it up. Now, with Ace, I probably would call him and say, you know, I wouldn't urge him to partake, but I might just, you know, conveniently find a way to let him know it's there. You know, throw some chocolate in there. No, that would kill him. Not chocolate. Throw some bread in there. So he'd think he's, you know. Alex says, does vertigo happen because of playing too many video games? The weird thing about vertigo, man, is they don't really entirely understand it. I mean, they understand what causes what's happening in the ear, the balance issue, but they don't really know, like, there's no thing they can just do to fix it. It just has to pass. And I'm lying on the, it was crazy. I'll get into games, I promise. I'm lying out in the hallway on a stretcher in ER because the ambulance had to come and take me away because there's no way I'm just like, I'm not going to go sit in somebody's car. They're not going to drive me to the ER. I'm not moving. I have to just lay down, you know? So anyway, the hospital in Southern California, all the hospitals had been hacked, right? So the place I had to wait for like 12 hours to be seen. So I'm just lying there and this ER doctor comes by and she's like, we don't really understand this, and this sometimes works, but not always. And so she takes my head when I feel just horrific, and she just starts shaking it around and doing this twisty pattern with it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, the vertigo is caused by there's this little, the best way to think about it is like a little pebble piece of biological material in you, and it gets dislodged. And sometimes this can shake it back and get it where it needs to be, and everything's like instantly fine. It's like Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid when he does the boom and then and Daniel-san's fine. It's like that. But it didn't do anything. So it was terrible. It was terrible. Anyway, the point is, welcome to Gavin and Games. We have a very big show today, and then we have a very big show coming up this afternoon, early evening, of Jaffe Talks. Lots of weird, fun, interesting, geeky news coming up. But this particular show is going to be all about the video games for the most part. We're going to get into some Kingdom Come. We're going to spend a decent amount of time after the core news on some Kingdom Come stuff going on. I want to tell you about my experiences with this insanely surprising and wonderful game, having a great time with it, but also some of the weird news around it. We're going to look at some new game trailers, you know, blah, blah, blah. Tech Protect is in the call-in waiting room. If you want to call in at some point during the show, let them know what you want to talk about. If it's relevant, if you sound like an entertaining chap, then, you know, we'll bring you on the show. Okay. Yeah, Zeke says when he had vertigo, they let him sit in the ER for hours. They come in, give you a shot, and it fixed it. It's like, thanks for letting me suffer for hours. Yeah, I mean, the real trick is you can get some medicine that calms the spins, helps you sleep. But I have never gotten motion sickness with video games, though, John. And I see also someone else is talking about it with Ghostwire Tokyo. No, but, you know, Scott Campbell, who made the Twisted Metal games with me, we co-directed those and co-created those. He would get motion sickness all the time. And I'm like, dude, you're making a fucking fast action 3D game. He's like, pays the bills. But yeah, he would get sick all the time. Okay. What do I want to tell you guys? We're going to talk about Bloodborne. I got some Bloodborne questions coming up based on some very weird activity that Sony is doing. We're going to talk about Kingdom Come in a couple of ways, but I want to talk about a response I had. I did a video yesterday about the bread, but it's only gotten more interesting to me about sort of my experience with this simulation. So even if you're not really looking into this game as something you want to play, if you're into gameplay, game design, just how games affect us psychologically, you want to stick around for that. Finally, a little bit later in the show, we're going to be talking about a very popular video game as it relates to, now stick with me here. You ever go to a fast food restaurant, you get some French fries, and you finish your fries, and you get that absolutely delightful surprise of 4 or 5 or 6 fries that are somehow in the bag out of the fry carton, right? You know what I'm talking about. And it's like, oh, it's like a little bonus, okay? I'm convinced that employees at fast food restaurants, even though they say they don't, are trained to do that, right? You go to McDonald's training and they say, hey, you know, don't overdo it. When you put the fries in the bag, take a couple of them and put them in the bag before you put the carton in. That is going to relate to a very popular video game, and we're going to talk about that coming up in just a little bit. What else we got? Hang on. I have notes now. I have to have notes. I'm a professional. You know what I did last night, you guys? I got to tell you something real quick. So last night was my father-in-law or ex-father-in-law, but, you know, it's all the same. He's legally still my father-in-law. But anyway, we're all still very close. It was his birthday, so we went out and did karaoke. And we did karaoke in one of those places, not like a bar, but it was like, you know, one of those, it was like the Koreatown area of San Diego. It's on Convoy Street. And there's lots of, like, you know, Asian shops and stuff like that. And they have lots of karaoke. And it was one of the ones where you can get your own room, right? So it's like 5 or 6 of us in a room. And we're doing karaoke last night. And I don't drink. My son Calvin wanted some kind of, hey, Cal. He's walked away. It's some kind of drink he wanted. I don't know, some kind of champagne-ish thing. And I got that, and I'm like, let me try it. And I drank that, and I was a little tipsy, not too bad. And it occurred to me for the very first time, like usually my experience with karaoke is you're at a bar or you're at one of those rooms for a party with friends, and everybody's singing the, all the shit that everybody sings, Don't Stop Believin' and Bohemian Rhapsody and blah, 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 right? And, but I'm sitting there and I'm going, this, man, if you are ever heartbroken, it never occurred to me, if you're heartbroken, what a great experience. Whether you go with friends or by yourself, you get like a bottle of whiskey and you sit in a goddamn karaoke room by yourself and you just fucking sing sad songs until you pass out. I think, for all I know, it's like, yeah, Jaffe, that's what people do at karaoke. It's never occurred to me that you could do that. And I have my son has a friend who was staying with us recently, who's going through his first big breakup. And is real sad. And now he's staying with another friend. He may be back over here this weekend. Everybody's just trying to console the kid. It's really tough for him. I get it. And I'm just like, dude, you guys got to take this kid to the karaoke. Take him to the fucking karaoke and just let him sing his fucking sad song heart out. It would be delightful. It would be wonderful. But I've never thought about it. I can't, Tech, I see your thing, but I can't really do that right now. I can do that on the next one, though. I see your note, but I can't solve it at the moment. JD says, I can do that at home in my underwear. Yeah, I know, but, you're basically doing it, with the cool lights, and you're doing it with the great sound, and, you get the, I don't know, shut up, ruining my story. But you're right. You're not wrong. This is a trope in movies, going to karaoke by yourself and singing sad songs. MK Ness, I did not know that. I guess you can do online karaoke on a street. It doesn't matter. The point is I went to karaoke. Fuck you. Okay. Let's get to some stuff. People asked me yesterday, did you see the Jurassic Park trailer? I can't show it to you, of course, but yeah, I saw it. I liked it a lot. Excuse me. I liked it a lot until the end when Scarlett Johansson has this very MCU line. And I like the MCU, but I was like, I'm not going to, here's what I'm going to tell you. Up until that line, I know this is so stupid, but up until that line, I was going to go to the theater and see it. And you guys know me, if you watch a show a lot, I don't get out to theaters a lot. I don't really like it. And then at the end, she says something, I don't even remember it. It was some kind of line like, the equivalent of sort of, the dinosaur is standing right behind me, right? I forget what the line was. And I was just like, okay, I'm not doing it. I'll wait till it comes out. But it's a neat idea. They go to the island where the reject dinosaurs of the very first Jurassic Park are kept because they were too dangerous. And they have to get the DNA from 3 eggs. I mean, it sounds like a fucking video game quest in order to get the cure for some disease or something. I don't fucking know. It looks good, though. It looks like a fun summer movie. Maybe I'll go. I don't know. It's a good point. Rob O says, I want to know when we're going to see more of that first-person Jurassic Park game. Fuck yeah. You goddamn right. When is that coming out? I want that goddamn thing. I can't tell the difference between any of them. All the Jurassic Worlds look the same. They kind of do. I mean, I loved the first Jurassic Park. It was obviously, most people did. It was a classic. I actually liked the third one. I need to go back and watch the second one. I remember being disappointed by it. And then all the other ones after that kind of blend together. So, yeah. But we'll see. But, it's fine. It was fine. But then this is coming out this summer. Superman's coming out. And Fantastic Four is coming out. So I'm pretty sure I'll go see, well, here's what I'll tell you. Out of all the 3, I will absolutely go see Superman. I have to see Superman. Because I don't know what I'm getting into. It's a new director. It's a new vision for the whole universe. Fantastic Four. I love the Fantastic Four. I love Marvel. But it kind of just looks like another Marvel movie, which is not a problem, but I got that at home. I'll wait for it to come to Disney Plus probably. Am I going to watch the Metal Gear trailer? There's a new one. There's a new Metal Gear trailer. If you can tell me where to find it, I'll put it on today's show. Absolutely. I want to tell you the Twisted Metal fan game. We were gonna have the developer on today, this afternoon, but I reached out to Tech and I said, look, I haven't had a chance to play it yet, and I want to spend a good 2 or 3 hours with it at least before I talk to this guy. So we are going to move that previously planned conversation with the fella to sometime next week whenever he is free, or whenever, whenever. I mean, it's got to be 3 weeks, it'll be 3 weeks. I really want to talk to this guy, but I just I don't want to talk to him until I've had the chance to play it and get my thoughts together and all that stuff. So just so you know, if you were expecting that, that's coming up, but not today. I'm not going to play games on the stream right now, but I think I really like this, but I don't understand it. This is Minesweeper meets an RPG. Can you guys just educate me on what the fuck I'm supposed to do in this game? What do you do in this game? It's apparently Minesweeper, and you've got kind of spells. It's loud. It says you've got to defeat the dragon, safe to use all your hearts, observe patterns, right click, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Why is it so loud? Is it loud for you guys or just me? God, that's fucking loud. Maybe my audio is turned up too high. Hello, world-renowned Geo Pompish. Thank you, buddy. He says, I want to hear Tech Protects Vape. Nice to see you. You as well, sir. We'll get him on vaping in a minute. Tech, you got to stop the vaping, and you got to stop my kid from vaping. What's the matter with you guys? I don't understand this game. So here's the dragon. It's Dragon Sweeper, right? So I click this, and if I click this, does that, I don't know what any of this means. I don't know what any of this means. So if I click this, it hurts me, but I get gold. So if I click this, do I get a heart? I get my hearts back. Okay, so this is, I don't know what just happened there. I lost everything, but I get gold. Oh, now I get that. And I'm dead. There's something about this I like, but I don't understand it fully. This is from the guy who did the great game Storyteller, which you can play on Netflix now, but it's on Steam. It's wonderful. But I don't really fully understand. Sworn just dropped on early access, Frosty. What is Sworn? I have no idea what that is. Anyway, this is available. It's called Dragon Sweeper. It's on itch.io if you're interested. But there's something about this that seems pretty cool. But I don't understand what I'm really looking at yet. So if anybody can educate me on this, I'm going to try one more, then we're going to move on. Okay, so there's the dragon. I'm going to open this chest. I'm going to take 5 damage. But in the chest I got... Okay, what's the wall do? Okay, so now I'm going to go... up here. And now I'm dead. Fuck it. I don't understand it. We'll figure it out later. The point is, here's the game. Okay. Moving on. Hey, Toothless Gaming. Thank you, my good friend. Toothless Gaming has stepped up and joined the Diet Soda Soldiers. Thank you very much. You are so special to me in my nether regions. Seriously. Toothless Gaming. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that support. Thank you, bud. Okay. Very nice, buddy. Okay, so somebody's telling me Sworn. I don't know what this is. Sworn Steam game. What? What is this? I don't know what this is. It's early access. It is a 1-to-4 co-op action roguelike. Explore and reclaim Camelot. So it's just basically Hades with co-op? Okay. If you like it, let me know if it's good, you know? Jaffe, thoughts on Irv Gotti? Who the fuck is Irv Gotti? I don't know who Irv Gotti is. Should I know who that is? Irv Gotti. 50 Cent mocks Irv Gotti. Oh, didn't he co-find Death Row Records or something? Yeah, I don't really follow him, so I don't really know anything about it. But I mean, anybody dies that young, it's really sad. But I don't, you know. Okay. I did play 33 Immortals. David Gaynor says, has anybody been playing the 33 Immortals early access? Is that the one that's like Hades with 33 people? If so, I did play a little early access. I thought it was cool, but it wasn't enough to keep me playing after about, 20 minutes, It's cool. It's decent. Okay. Hello, Kenny Rose. Hello. Let's move forward. I just want to say, we're going to get to the news in a second. I just want to show you this. I know not everybody's into the Marvel Snap. I got to move my fucking head. Hang on. My head's in the way. Okay. I know not everybody's into the Marvel Snap, and I appreciate that. But I got to say, God damn it, Jaffe, you fuck. Come on now. I do love what these guys do at the end of every month. It's just such a beautiful little presentation of your month. Tells you what your most played card. And part of it's because they're showing off the beautiful fucking art. But it tells you what your most played card was. Mine was Quicksilver, the Hulk, what card you upgraded, the character you win rate with, 80% for Iron Patriot. The most effective card, win rate, 67% Iron Patriot. The location you do well in. It's just a nice little thing. I like stuff like that. It's one of the reasons I like service games. I've talked about it before, but that's one of the things I was most excited about doing Drawn to Death as a game, as a service game, is I like the idea of, being a part of the gamers' lives. We had our Halloween event and our Christmas event, and, hey, it's a fucking free weekend. I just like that kind of community that comes together with these service-based games. You know what I saw? This is probably going to be enough to make me finally pull the trigger and jump seriously into giving World of Warcraft a shot, which I've never, ever done really seriously and given it a chance, is I saw that they're building the fucking houses, right? They let you, look at this. World of Warcraft houses. And they're letting you build your own houses, which is like whatever. But the two things I really like about this, and I don't really know much about World of Warcraft, but I like that obviously you can customize it however you want. I like that there's going to be activities in your house. One of the things I don't like about all these building your houses is there's nothing to do in them. But if you can suddenly now have your house and it's like, hey, there's 15 mini games in the house that just you and your friends can hang out and play, I think that's cool. And then you can also have neighborhoods. You can have neighborhoods of public and private. So you can have like a gated community with just your friends. And you can live I could live next door in World of Warcraft to rob the mod. How cool is that? So I'm kind of, this is enough to make me start considering it. Robbo in the chat says, do not play World of Warcraft, Jaffe. Why? Why would I? Why not? Why not? As a player since 2006, says Rob, I can say it's not easy to get into, but man, it's a hell of a lot of fun. So, Rob, are you still playing it? And more importantly, will you be my neighbor? Rob, will you be my neighbor? Joker wants to move in next to him. Hey, Calvin, I'm buying a house in World of Warcraft. And Rob's going to be my neighbor. He says, yay. Do you have a hangover? No. It was so funny. I told you guys we went out to karaoke last night, and my ex, Cal's mom, is there. And they have cameras in the karaoke rooms, right? Which is like probably just, no one gets murdered. I don't fucking know. Or so they have evidence. Who knows? Who cares? Maybe because somebody damages the equipment, right? And so Calvin says to me, what was the name of the drink you wanted? Prosecco, I guess, which is kind of a champagne thing, right? And you can order it on the little thing and they bring it to you. So they bring the drink in, but it's for Calvin, who's 19. And M, my ex, is like, well, the camera will see him drinking. And I'm like, they don't care. Like the kids at the bar who are running the place are probably barely 21. And, but anyway, so it was the funniest thing. She gets up and uses her body to block the camera and then pretends she's pouring. Then she takes the alcohol, pours it into a cup for water, pours the alcohol She pours the alcohol into a cup for water and then pretends she's pouring water from the desk into a cup and gives him the alcohol in the water cup. And I'm like, did you just do all of that and block the cameras so they couldn't see Calvin getting his alcohol? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. I was both very impressed and also staggeringly embarrassed for my ex-wife when she did that. I'm like, dude, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Yeah, it's the perfect crime, says MK Ness. It was really funny, though. Come on, man. Anyway, World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. I want to let you know, JoJo D has been telling me to play the Complex on stream for 3 years now. And finally, the other day, I said, fuck it, we'll do it. Part of it probably had something to do with him giving us a lot of money. But that's not the main reason. I just honestly just got busy. And we're going to play this Saturday. It'll be, everybody can watch, but it'll be members only. I'm assuming it's one of those things where we can all vote on things. Sometime Saturday in the morning, 11 a.m. California time, something like that. I'll let you know as we get closer. But I want to show you the trailer. Then I want to talk briefly about this thread on NeoGAF, and then we're going to get into the news proper. I know you're here for the news. Really? I don't even know who comes here for the fucking news. All right, here's the point. Here we go. Hey, yeah, that'll be in there. PK99, thank you, buddy. 16 months Diet Soda Soldiers. He says, Jaffe, check out Metal Gear Solid Delta release date trailer next. I won't do it next, but it's queued up for the show. Absolutely. Kenny Rose, yes. Twisted Metal stream. The guy was coming on today. I haven't played the game yet. So when I play the game, I will stream it. Absolutely. Okay. Let's take a look at this. And then this is coming up this Saturday if you want to play with us. And if you want to be part of the choices, not a problem, pal. Members and mods of any tier are the people I will be taking my dancing cues from. Here we go.
We stand on the precipice of history. Our teams have been working with some of the country's top scientists.
We need proper assurances about these nanocells, Dr. Tennant.
Why should we continue to bankroll someone so young?
All I can ask is that you trust me. I will deliver.
We need to get you on the scene immediately.
See? How? Nothing leaves or enters the lab without us knowing about it.
The safety of London is paramount. We can't risk a bug
Safety of
getting into the
London
city.
is paramount.
Me. Time is running out.
The supply tin's been depleted. There's only one vial left. What are you going to do?
It's a pretty big budget for a FMV game, I have to say.
The nanocells cannot fall into the wrong hands.
Make a decision.
Bring this together.
I trust you.
She'd be sacrificing herself to save millions. I'm not a murderer.
How do I save them both?
So it's been out for a while. Rob says it's really good. He has the platinum. This is going to be this Saturday on the channel. Everybody can watch, but it'll be members only as it relates to making choices in the game. I assume there's a timer. If not, we'll do the best we can before the time runs out and I have to choose. I'll maybe I'll maybe do it in Discord where there's no delay and then stream it to YouTube. We'll figure it out. Point is, swing by Saturday. Let's give it a watch. Okay. I want to look at this very, very briefly. By the way, Robbo says if Netflix had this kind of stuff, I would subscribe. Netflix has gotten rid of a lot of that stuff. They may not have had that, but they have had interactive fiction before, and recently they pulled a lot of it. Apparently it just wasn't very popular. If they have Twitch integration in that game, man, that's fantastic. Okay, if they do, then we'll play it over on Twitch. I'll let people know. Okay. This was a thread. We talked about it the other day. You can turn one video game female into a real person to be with for the rest of your life. Who is it? I haven't gone through this. I'm not going to go through the whole thread. It's like 8 pages long, but I wanted to just kind of see. My guess is Tifa is going to jump to the top for most people, and that's what we're going to see a lot of. But I just wanted to go through this, see what you guys thought, and then we'll get to the news proper. I don't know who this is. I don't know who... somebody says Lulu. I have no idea. I have no idea who this character is. MK Ness says you've been playing Disco Elysium with Twitch integration. I've never played Disco Elysium. I didn't, and I hear it's great, but I did not know that there was Twitch integration. Okay, well that might be a good thing to do as well. Yeah, GLaDOS from Portal is your waifu. Okay. All right, here we go. So I guess this is a girl from Final Fantasy. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The guy says, think about it. Come on now. That's a good point. It's good. I don't know what the name of this little thing is. It's a good point, though. Who's this? I like this girl. Easy, one of the Dead or Alive girls. Okay. All right. Yeah, Tifa is probably the popular choice. I would choose the girl. I wouldn't choose Eve. JD says Eve from Stellar Blade. I would choose her... I would choose her buddy, the one who dies at the beginning, obviously before she dies. Claudia. That's a man, baby. Oh, who are these ladies, though? Trump is unwoking. Oh, shut up, Spaces, you moron. Okay, who is this? This is a dude. Which is fine. I got no issues with that, but it's not for me, but that's fine. Okay, well, Blue Lady, Blue Man Group. Yeah, come on. Tifa's the best. Yeah, Aya Bray from Parasite. I get that. I don't know how to say this lady's name, and no. Oh my God, that's a deep fucking cut. The lady on the box from Curse of the Azure Bonds. Okay. In the armor. Somebody would pick Samus in the armor. Tifa. Come on, really? I can have great healthy food. This guy would pick Cooking Mama. Was Aerith? Is that Mike Tyson's girlfriend, Aerith? Is this Eve from Stellar Blade right here? Eve is so much hotter. Oh, I don't agree. Is that the kid from Mother? Is that who that is? Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. I've changed my mind. I forgot all about Claire Redfield. Yeah, Claire Redfield, RE2 remake. Yeah, she's going home with me, boys. Sorry. Look, hey, I got no issues. With you folks, whatever you're into. But, I mean, come on. That's pretty great. Okay. All right. That's that lady there, whatever. What's that lady? The lady in that Neo, or not Neo? What's it called? Yeah, the guy. You know what I'm talking about? That thing. Okay, no clue who that is. I don't know who that is. Kind of don't know who that is either. The Destiny chick IRL. What Destiny chick? Near Automata. That's right. 2B. I don't know who this lady is. Oh, No More Heroes. Okay. Oh my God. Come on, man. No, you're wrong, 2D man. You're just wrong. Hello, Cantankerous. You're just fucking wrong. He says Jill Valentine is hotter than Claire Redfield. You're just a fucking moron. You're just wrong, man. Look at that. I don't even know who that is. Who is that? Who is this? Somebody, I'm going to wait. I'll let the chat catch up. Who the fuck is this person? That's Samus? I thought Samus was blonde. What are you talking about? This is from the NES? No, this is from the Super. This is Super Metroid? It's Bob Saget? Okay. Wait a minute. I'm a little confusing. And confused. If you're enjoying... Yeah. That's from the NES? Okay, I thought she was blonde all this time. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, V from the Cyberpunk. Well, when did they change her from brunette to blonde? Come on now. Okay, there's Link right there. Link. Who's this? Oh, Morgan from Dragon Age Origins. Okay. All right, so this is a fun thread. Give it a look if you want. Okay. There's like 7 more pages of this on, but I did think that Samus was originally blonde. I guess not. Can I turn my mic up a little? Yeah, hang on. That's the original Samus. All right, you guys tell me if my mic, I've just upped the gain. Let me know if it's too much. Lately, I've been re-listening to some of the older streams, and it feels like the gain is too high. But anyway, okay. Let me know if that works for you. If not, we'll turn it back down. Tomb Raider. Stephen Hawkins says, I said Tomb Raider. Well, her name's not Tomb Raider. Okay. Samus had green hair. Well, no, not according to this. According to this is her in the NES version. Right? Okay. Anyway, let's move forward. But what is the girl's name? Okay, so it's Stellar Blade. Friend dies of Eve. I don't know what her name is. What's that girl's name? Yeah, this one. What's her name? This girl. She's the shit. What's her name? What the fuck is her name? Somebody tell me this lady's name. Taki. Okay, let's look up Taki. Her name was Boobs Johnson. Taki Stellar Blade. Is that her name? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Eve got nothing. Eve got nothing on her. Look at that lady. She's there for me. Okay. Let's move forward. Delightful Delinquents. See what we got going on today on the show. Okay. It's like, that's not the show, Jaffe? Well, that's not the news. Guess what, you guys? Now, I'm a little weirded on this, and maybe Tech Protect knows some stuff. You guys may have known that yesterday or late last night, Civilization 7 came out for early access, right? Now, I look at this trailer, and I just go, how can I not abandon Kingdom Come 2? This looks so good, and it looks so delightful. But it's sitting right now at a mixed review over on Steam. And one of the biggest criticisms of it is that the user interface is just abysmal and terrible. And for a game like this, that's just like unacceptable, right? So I'm almost thinking that I need to wait maybe for a handful of patches. I know Tech Protect got this game. I don't know, Tech, did you play this last night? Do you have any thoughts on this game? Is it worth getting now, or should people wait? In fact, Tech Protect, pull into the show real quick. I don't want to talk too much about it, but since this is out today, and if people are curious about it, they can pick it up today. I just want to know what your thoughts were. Tech, are you there? I don't even know if he's there. All right, well, Tech.
Hello.
All right, did you get a chance to play Civ last night?
I had a chance to play Civ last night. I am having a chance to play Civ right now watching the stream.
So
I know I'm working, but God, this game's fucking good.
Okay, so talk to me about this, because it's sitting in a mixed review over on Steam, and I don't necessarily want to walk away from Kingdom Come 2 because I'm loving it to play this, but it does look, when I look at this trailer, it looks so fucking good. That are the criticisms on Steam valid, but you're just willing to put up with them, or why? What is going on?
I've read a couple of the reviews on Steam, on Metacritic, all these other sites, and I've watched some YouTubers who are avid Civ players give their takes. Now that I've had about 7 hours of gameplay of the game, here's the good, here's the bad. The good is the game is revamped, right? There's a lot of new ways to play the game. There's a lot of incentive to really stick to a certain style of gameplay for whatever like civilization you want to play as. It's fresh, it's new, it's very pretty. It is like 5 times the fidelity of the last game in terms of like the details on your map. Here's the bad, and it hurts my heart to say this, but Civ 7 dropped the ball when it comes to the user interface. It is as bad as I can imagine making it while still releasing like a game.
Do they have a history with Firaxis with patching stuff like that? Like in a month, should that be better or not really?
I don't think it will. I think they're going to keep it like this, and then the community is going to make a mod to make it better. But the issue is with past Civilization games, the UI allowed you to quickly interact with the game by having like an enter button or like a move to your next available unit, like hotkeys. And they just took all the functionality out of that. Additionally, when you hover over a certain like tile or unit, in the past, you'd be able to tell like, okay, this unit has this much combat strength, and these buildings do these things. That's missing. And then
okay, but it's missing, or is it like we're doing this for a design reason? We took it out intentionally because we feel it adds to immersion, or I mean, how do you miss that? Was it like we just didn't have time and we'll patch it, or is there a gameplay reason that's been removed that you can tell?
Honestly, there is no immersion reason you should play a economy builder game. All right, if you're immersed in an economy builder like I am, Himiko of Japan,
right?
Then you're losing it, dog. The whole idea is what building can I get to have the highest number? Like what structure do I build to get the highest gold amount or the best happiness for my people? How do I build the strongest units? You're all invested in the numbers game with Civilization. Unfortunately, I think they were like possibly going for a sleeker look to the gameplay. Because in other games, if you hover over a unit, you have all these like information ads that you get. This does this is that.
Hang on a second. We're talking about Civ 7, right?
Yeah.
So Firaxis releases first early access patch. Let's see if this solves any of your problems. I want to see when this story dropped. Is this
5 hours ago?
Okay, so moving to a bridge no longer ends a unit's turn. Okay, let's look at the interface. Improved minimap now displays tile owners. Added information about food flows to the city detail window. Added ability to automatically select next unit. You can customize the names of religions. The policy screen now shows number of available slots. Does that help with anything, or that's not what you're talking about?
No, that's not at all what I'm talking about.
Oh, man. Okay.
So you're in the Discord, yeah? You can see my...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it because I know not all of our
too
audience plays
yeah.
Civ. I was just curious. So it sounds like, though, even with those things, you love it. It's just that that's kind of a pain.
Yeah. So again, for those that are heavily invested in being like as peak performance as you can be in one of these economy builder games, you're losing out on the time save of just being able to see a lot of the stats, organically on the screen. Now you kind of have to like spend time looking it up. Okay, I have this type of unit. It does this much. It has this much stats. The positives are the gameplay is fun. They updated how you engage in combat. Now you have you have a fucking land unit commanders. You have sea unit commanders. And it makes the game more entertaining for combat, which is super boring in the old game. The replayability is there. I'm on my 3rd campaign so far, and I don't get bored. I'm playing the same Civilization 3 times in a row, which I've never done. In the old game, I would switch up to a new guy every time. I couldn't just repeat.
Fuzzy Tomato in the chat says Twitter is blaming Harriet Tubman.
She's okay. I'm not a huge fan of how they chose Harriet Tubman.
Are they actually blaming her? Oh, it wouldn't surprise me.
People are upset about it only because there are key Civ like leaders that are missing, right? A huge meme in the Civilization community is that Gandhi has been in the game for forever. And there was a glitch in, I think, Civilization 3 or 4. So Gandhi is like the most peaceful civilization to play against. He'll never attack you, right?
Okay.
He has a negative 100
aggression
demeanor towards war.
Okay.
Right. And the glitch was that there's certain ways to get someone to be nicer to you, and if you got Gandhi to be just a little nicer, it would flip that stat. It would I forget the term in math, but and now he has 100 aggression, and Gandhi will nuke everybody. He doesn't
That's
give a shit.
fantastic.
He'll blow up orphanages.
Okay.
But they took out Gandhi. They took out Genghis Khan. Like these leaders that we grew up with.
But I get it. But Genghis Khan, though, I know. Well, the rights to Genghis Khan, though, I mean, he's very expensive to license these days now. So
is he really?
No. Can you imagine the estate
of?
No one has the rights to Genghis Khan. I'm kidding. Come on, stay in school.
No,
Tony.
someone has to have the rights. I have
the rights to a historical figure that was lived 2,000, 3,000.
Do you know about the Genghis Khan birth pattern? Birthmark?
You know, strangely enough, I don't. I must have missed that week.
It's actually a huge thing. There's a certain portion of people in Asia and somewhere in some parts of the Middle East that have this huge birthmark on their back. And they found that having that birthmark has a higher proclivity to having a descendancy to Genghis Khan.
All that may be true, but nobody has the fucking rights to Genghis Khan.
Whoever has the biggest birthmark, dog. It's like the
I'm sure that'll hold up in court. That'll hold up in
Scotsman
court.
or whatever. You know,
right.
like you show up and you take your shirt off, and it's like I am Genghis Khan's closest heir.
Well, I may have to get this, and this is the problem. People are like,
birthmark?
Jaffe, why don't you ever fucking finish games? Because I have ADD and I'm a fucking child, and I'm playing Kingdom Come now at the expense of other games I haven't finished, and now this is the new bright and shiny thing. So I don't
recommend this for you, Jaffe.
You don't think I'll like it? Or at least wait until the non-expensive version drops in a week, right? I mean, at least, and then Avowed. Fuck this game. I don't know what to do.
Don't do Civ. Civ is for those who love spreadsheets. They love Excel. They have like a huge desire to see how efficient they can get things to be. If you just want like fun gameplay, Civ is not just. Not for you.
Maybe this is my retirement game.
Or Stardew Valley.
Should I be concerned that you're playing this while you're supposed to be working, or just don't worry about it? Look the other way is what you're saying?
No, it's a turn-based game, so I don't have to be engaged with the thing. Like I do like one move every like 4 minutes.
What if somebody in the chat posts something and it ends up like some awful thing they're saying they're going to do later this afternoon out in the real world, and you missed it because you were worried about Harriet Tubman? You'll feel terrible. You'll feel terrible.
I would never miss it. I would always just reply LOL.
Yeah, okay. All right, goodbye, Tech Protect. Enjoy going back to playing your game. I'm glad I can,
I'm not really playing.
I'm glad I can subsidize your fucking game playing. I'm excited for that. All right, there he goes. He's off. He's off the show. All right. Let's move forward. Fuck. My daughter. She's got terrible taste in men. Clearly. Okay, here we go. Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. The only reason this is a story to me, I mean, Indiana Jones, The Great Circle, my absolute favorite game of the year. Tech's now crying. He says, I'm not even online on Steam. I don't give a fuck. Listen, I love this game so much. And Harrison Ford has talked about a bunch of artificial intelligence. That's what's making the headlines. I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I think about AI. I love it. Whatever. But here's what he did say. And I loved this. I love that he is supportive of the Great Circle, not for any kind of, it makes me feel so happy. But he's talking about Troy Baker did a brilliant job. It didn't take AI to do it. Good ideas and talent. That's what you need. He obviously allowed them to use his image rights or to pay him for his image rights. And he seems supportive of this. So what I hope it will do, is start to get more people going, hey, maybe there will be new Indiana Jones movies with the Harrison Ford character likeness and voice, but not with Harrison Ford because, he's fucking 80. Or maybe we could get Han Solo and Luke Skywalker movies, whether they're live action and they hire real actors and then change their appearances, or they're CG movies and they sound like these guys. I think it would be fucking delightful. So I'm really glad to hear that Harrison Ford seems to be going, I'm okay if somebody wants to look like me and sound like me and make stories for this character, because I love these fucking characters. Do I think that today's youths need their own fucking characters? And I think it's a tragedy that so many of the movies these days are based on things that were, created when I was a kid and a teenager. It's ridiculous, but that's the world we're in. So, I guess we'll just keep going back to the Gen X well, but hey, I won't complain, but I ain't going to be around as long as these Gen Z fucks, so they'll have something to complain about. Hey, well, yeah, JJD, I'm with you, but that's not a me thing. He says, we don't need any more Indy or Han or James Bond. Let's have new heroes for the new gen. Hey, I'm with you. Where are they? Amex says, can I use your likeness to get a job at Sony Santa Monica Studios? Good luck with that. I think you'd have a better chance going in looking like, Sloth from the Goonies. What's the difference? Fuck you! Okay. Yeah, I beat Indiana Jones, of course. I haven't 100%ed it, but I'm still going back to it and trying to. I love that game, Ryan. Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely, I beat it. I completed it. I reached the end. Whatever. Sloth does like Baby Ruths, and truth be told, so do I. Assassin's Creed Shadow prequel announced. It's a manga, though, but just letting you know. If you're into Shadows, and I'm looking forward to Shadows, Assassin's Creed Shadows will get an official prequel story fittingly told by a tie-in manga series. It's from Eurogamer. Rather than simply adapting the story of the game, the series will be set sometime prior. A lot of you guys, that's an interesting point. 2D Man says Gen Z cares more about being the characters in their own worlds. It's a good point. Wait, Ninja Gaiden has a new hero coming? Why are you mad? I didn't know that. What's going on with that? Tell me about that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Assassin's Creed Shadows very, very much. I like the fact anybody who's actually paying attention will recognize the fact that the people who did the preview last week are like, they deal with this guy being a black samurai. Like, they deal with, at least to some extent, it seems like, I know they acknowledge it, whether they deal with the racism and like, what is this black guy doing in Japan? That is marbled into the narrative. It's not just like they plopped him in there. So all you guys who are like, it's not about, we don't like black people, it's just bad storytelling. Well, it's kind of an interesting story. A country that, at least at the time, and even one could argue now, but certainly at the time, was not always that hospitable to the black man. And they're going to write a story about it. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, Morgan, can you, I'm going to, Tech Protect, remind me after this story, assuming you're not at a critical point of Civilization 7, that I don't want to interrupt your game, of course, but assuming you're at a good point, remind me to look at the new Ninja Gaiden trailer that just dropped. But I want to say this. About Assassin's Creed, just so you know how much of this shit is bullshit. By the way, my favorite Assassin's Creed so far is Black Flag, is what I would say. Somebody was asking in the chat. I was very surprised, not surprised to hear Japanese Rise of the Ronin developers. These are Japanese developers. I want you to know these people that you think are your friends, that you have parasocial. I'm sick of them. And I'm not doing a bit at this point. I'm genuinely annoyed at this shit. They are lying to you, or they're just stupid or misinformed, or all three. Depends on the person. I'm not going to tell you who I'm talking about on any given one, but it's one of those three, probably. These are Japanese developers. Okay? They made Rise of the fucking Ronin. And in that game, they acknowledge they have armor that you can wear. You can find Yasuke's armor, who is the black samurai or supposed samurai or alleged samurai. in Assassin's Creed Shadows. And the Japanese developers allowed this translation to be in their game. The armor is said to have belonged to the famous African samurai Yasuke. Huh. Well, I'll be darned. What? Hell's frozen over. I'm waiting for all these fuckers out there talking about how this is DEI. Attack the Japanese now. Go tell the Japanese they don't know their own fucking culture, you fucking grifter fucks. Eric Lennon says, I wore Yasuke armor a lot in Rise of the Ronin. I mean, come on. Well, Joseph Race, this is not repetitive. He says, I'm sick of the whole Assassin's Creed drama. To be honest, it's repetitive. What's repetitive are these idiots out there bitching about any and everything for some reason that I don't know why. Who the fuck knows why? I couldn't tell you. But here you go. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm confounded. I'm flabbergasted. What's happened? The Japanese are acknowledging that he was a samurai and he was a African samurai? Oh no. Oh no. What will we do? Anyway. Okay. Yeah, Machine says, I'm so done with this. The same dudes will never admit this crap. They'll just focus on Shadows instead. Yeah, which is fine. But I'm not mad at them. I'm disappointed in their audience, is what I'm disappointed in. Okay. Oh, they call him African and not African American. Why they got to be racist and call him African? Shut up, Brad. I don't know where the guy's from. I do agree with someone's point that I think it might have been Brad's, that most people say Black Flag was their favorite because it was a pirate game before it was an Assassin's Creed game. I'm sure there's some truth. To that. Okay. RFNY, those were the localizers probably. Well, okay, yeah, sure. It had to be localized, but I'm pretty sure that it is the Yasuke armor. And he clearly is a meaningful figure in that culture, or it wouldn't be in there. They didn't just make it up. And apparently, somebody was saying something about Nioh, the game Nioh, which I haven't played. Where did it go? We're going to move on. I just wanted to point that out. Where did it go? Somebody was, Nioh does the same thing or something? I don't know. I'll get to the super chat in a second, I promise. I'm not avoiding it. I just haven't got a chance to get to it yet. He won't. Okay, Evil Jaffe. He won't observe that Yasuke was in Nioh. Okay, well there you go. He's in that too. So what's the problem? Neo, whatever. So what's the problem? He's also in Samurai Warriors 5. You know. Oh, shut up, Stillran. He says, so please show me how much you know about gaming. Bitch, I know more about games than you can fucking learn in your lifetime. I've played, because there's one genre. Yeah, sorry I don't play the fucking Dynasty Warrior style games because, you know, they get boring after 5 minutes and they charge $70 for them. The issue with AC isn't that he's in it, but why is a historical character the main character? What? Because he is. Shut up. That is the issue, and you know it. Okay. Da Vinci's Demon says, it's not real. It was based on an idiot's book who lied. Yasuko was never samurai. I don't care. What I'm saying to you is that if all these other games do it and acknowledge it and no one bitches about it because you don't, have to see and play a black person so it's okay, or because most of these people probably can't read, so they didn't read the text to know they were wearing armor that was, God forbid, tainted by the black skin of a black man. I mean, what do you want? Okay, none of this shit. Were you only going to put the game in if it's historically accurate? That is the new get out of jail free card for these morons, by the way. It's not that I have a problem with gay people. But why would Henry be gay in Kingdom Come? It doesn't make sense. The director said he was straight. Shut up. Go watch them. Don't watch me then. I think if you believe their grift, you're fucking idiots. Don't be here. Not because I don't want you here, but because I don't think you can handle it. And I worry about your brain pan, man. Tony's channel drops a 2 spot. Thank you, sir. He says, Jaffe literally made games. I made failures and big bona fide blockbusters, and I know more than you. I added that, but Tony says he knows more than you. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. I mean, yeah, I'm not, okay, here's a bigger point, though. Yaska's armor. Do with that what you want. I am Ryan. Ryan says, do people really look forward to new Assassin's Creed games? The formula is just so tired. I don't disagree, but I do think the new one looks fun, so I'm willing to give it a chance. And I really enjoyed Star Wars Outlaws. That was an open world game, so, you know. But it's not typical Ubisoft, if it at least is like it looks so far, and Star Wars Outlaws was not typical Ubisoft. So we'll see. We'll see. Listen to this. Big old pancake. Thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, Jaffe, how do you square friendship with Colin Moriarty as a Trump voter while your trans child is under attack by his administration? Compartmentalization? I mean, it is a valid question. I think if do I like that I know people and I like people who voted for Trump, who is a guy who I think is a nightmare for this country in all kinds of ways? No, it's something you have to kind of deal with, the fact that there are things about people that you adore and other things you don't. But I think that's every person. That's people in your family. That's your spouse. That's your siblings, your parents. Those are your friends, right? So I don't demand a show of a checklist of you have to have a 98% match of everything I do, right? Now, if someone had voted for Trump and I knew, if I knew Colin, and I know this isn't the case, voted for Trump because he likes that Trump is using the marginalized and very vulnerable trans community to get political points, and in doing so harming that community, and he did that intentionally, or there was a direct line that he could say, I knew that we were going to board up all the Jews and put them in cars and send them to Auschwitz, but I didn't care about that because I wanted to make money. Then I couldn't square it. But I don't see that with Colin. And frankly, I think if you demand every single person in the world match you 100% before you choose to engage with them, you're going to be very, very lonely, is what I would say. So that is my answer. And thank you for your very interesting question. And thank you for your super chat, buddy. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Let's move forward, shall we? But if you don't believe me, there's the armor, right? It is said to have belonged to the famous African samurai Yasuke, retainer of Nobunaga Oda. Let's check out this new Ninja Gaiden trailer before we move on to more news. YouTube Ninja, come on now. Is this Ninja Gaiden 4? Or is this Ninja Gaiden, there's DLC coming to Black? I'm not sure what you mean. Latour says, why is Yasuke not samurai in the Japanese version? LOL. I don't know, man. I don't know, and I don't care. Are you one of these people that this really is a bee at your bonnet? In your bonnet? If you are, I would love for you to call in. I've never spoken to someone who really gives a shit about this. And, educate me on this. What do you care? The fuck do you care, man? God, so gross, these people. What are we looking at? Ninja Gaiden. Yes, Jonathan, that's right. They contradict themselves. And guess what? I don't care. I don't care. And nor, in my opinion, should you. No one should care about this. It's just goofy. Let's see this new trailer. When did this drop, Morgan? I don't see a new trailer. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently there's a new Ninja coming in Ninja Gaiden 4, and people are upset about that too. Again, I don't even care. Can you guys just go through your fucking day and like something? What do you like? Do you like anything? I don't even, you know what? My God. Jaffe, if we shouldn't care, why are you talking about it? Because that is a dumb thing to say, Jonathan. I'm not talking about it because you care about, or I'm not saying I care about the specifics of that narrative. I'm saying what I care about is why do you care so fucking much about this shit? That I care about. It's ridiculous to me. It's just shut up. Just fucking shut up. You guys are so fucking, I don't know, I'm not talking to anyone specifically in my chat. I'm just saying the culture online. You guys are such fucking children. I mean, you've got one of the most incredibly interesting games in Kingdom Come 2. And people are now bitching about that. Well, let me explain why. See, Jaffe, if you just knew the nuance that Smash JT covered in his very thought-provoking post this morning, you would understand why we must take to the battlefield. No, I wouldn't. Idiots. Uncensored Maverick says chuds are being farmed and they don't have the self-awareness to realize it. The Boy Wonder says people nowadays are geared for hate if something isn't 100% identical to what they picture in their head. Back in the day, people let creatives do their thing and just chose not to buy something. Right. Right. I mean, I could show you this. I think it looks cool. Yeah, it's south of midnight. Yeah. I must eat my paper. I'm so not doing a bit, you guys. I'm not doing a bit. I don't know what to do with this frustration. I had my notes on that and everything. Relax and eat some paper. I don't know how to move forward at the moment. I'm not doing a pregnant pause. I'm just all right. Zack, thank you, buddy. He says, I click on your live and the first thing I see is you eat paper. I love you. I love you too, sir. Linda says, well, Linda, I'm so embarrassed, Linda, that I wasn't prepared for this. But until Where'd it go?
Well, let me tell you this, Linda.
You goddamn right. Linda says, where'd it go? The Kingdom Come 2 thing was a non-issue, and I think people trying to make it something out of nothing are really reaching and being called out. I mean, some of them are. We'll get to that. I'll tell you about Kingdom Come in a minute. Here, let's look at this. Let's look at this stupid woke game. It's new South of Midnight stuff. What? Okay, there we go. A couple more. It's coming out soon. Okay, educate me, guys. Here's some new combat footage from South of Midnight. What should I hate about it? What should I hate about it? It's woke. The combat's woke. Where's the air combos? Cool. Thanks, you guys. Now I didn't know what I was supposed to hate about it. So now I know. All right. As Death Stranding 2 on the beach gets rated in South Korea, says Games Radar, and Hideo Kojima appears to tease a new trailer, a release date seems more likely than ever. I'm excited about this game because it's one of the few big-budget AAA games coming out that I have no intention of playing, so it's not going to cause me any stress. I think the trailer looks amazing. I played a little bit of Death Stranding. I liked it. But it just, I couldn't make the time to sort of deal with that kind of slower pace thing. But they say that the game has excessive violence and vulgar language, depiction of smoking, drinking, and drugs. We would expect no less from Kojima-san. And here we go. This is going to, maybe there's a rumor that we've got a PlayStation showcase or state of play or whatever coming up this month. Maybe they'll announce the release date. I think that's what they're kind of hinting at. Okay. So we will, we'll, anyway, that's happening. I'm a little bummed that this is now coming out in August. What's happening? What the fuck is happening? I'm excited for this game. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater release date leaks. Official trailer. The release date's in the new trailer. Let's watch the new trailer. I'm going to use that to calm down, but I also want to see the new trailer. But this is going to be coming out August 28th. Why are you taking so long, Konami? I don't know, but they are. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, now. Let's watch it on YouTube.
Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side.
That's 4 months ago. That's not the fucking trailer. Hang on. The fuck is going on? The fuck is happening in my life? Metal Gear. Where's the new trailer? Metal Gear trailer. Come on now. 7 hours ago. Here we go. Okay, there's the one.
Colonel, tighten the security on this.
Oh, I'm
place.
so excited for this game. I love Metal Gear. I'm so glad to see a big update of a classic Metal Gear game.
America is out to destroy the Shagohod and get its hands on your inheritance. The Philosopher's legacy. And they're out to kill me as well.
What's the story between you and the boss?
She was like a mother.
Was she?
And my master.
The Cobras will take care of him.
Do you hear me, Snake? We are the sons of the boss.
I see it. The fear.
A great and terrible fury at being alive. A host of sorrows. And you are one of them.
Why'd you come back? There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss.
But I still have the Shagohod and the legacy. There is nothing America can do to stop us. I'm not finished yet!
Come on now. Come on now. Taking too long to come out, but I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. Ooh, of course, a little sneaky sneak. The fuck am I looking at? What's that? What? Wait, what? Was that in the original? What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? Am I still drunk from last night? What the fuck? Point is, they were always in the original? Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, that's true. JD says, too bad this game was made by DEI hires because it's easy for them to do remakes. Come on, man. I'm excited, man. That looks great. And now we have a release date. Very, 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 very much looking forward to it. That looks awesome. And I will say this. I am not one of these guys that want artists to not grow and stay in their lane or anything. I think it's great Kojima is stretching and doing new things. But my God, when he is controlled a little bit and forced to do something that's commercial and his weirdness cannot help but seep through, we get brilliant shit like that. But when it's like, hey, you're Kojima, do whatever the fuck you want. Not that I'm knocking Death Stranding or anything, because I do think it's really cool. But it's like, it's just, come on, man. Just, make something for the people. Nobody wants to fucking play. I mean, there are people who want to play Death Stranding, but could you make something like this again? But, I'm not saying, again, you guys misunderstand. I am not shitting on Death Stranding. And even what little I played, I thought was really, really cool. It's just the pacing. It's a slog, and it's too much Kojima, right? It's too much of like Kojima juice. Like what you need is about 40% Kojima juice, 60% traditional meat and potato gameplay. But Death Stranding is like 100% Kojima juice, not concentrated, or concentrated, meaning it's the good stuff. I don't know. And it's too much. It's too much. That's a great way of putting it, Trouble Tech. Death Stranding insists upon itself. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, you never go full Kojima, says Metal Gear. That's right. That's perfect. That's exactly right. He went full Kojima. Oh, that's a good idea, Rob. Play the original MGS on stream before the real one comes out. Yeah, maybe I will. Absolutely.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Shuhei said you and Shannon butted heads a lot. Does Kojima need a good producer? Shannon and I did not butt heads a lot. Tim Moss and I butted heads a lot. Shannon and I had the utmost respect for Shannon, and I still do. And when we disagreed and we fought on things like, I want this, but you can't have this unless you get rid of that. But that's what a good producer does. There was absolutely no, I don't think we ever fought other than one time on that entire game. Like in terms of like, I was mad at her. I drove her crazy, but oh no, I remain the biggest fan in the world of that woman. But, yeah, I mean, that's the job. Her job was to push in this direction. My job was to push in that direction. I don't think we butted heads, though. At least not by that definition I'm using. Okay.
Hey, we have Ravenos in the call-in waiting room who wants to discuss the games you choose to review and why are you always complaining?
Is this Weed'em or Bust?
Yeah, it's Ravenos, but hidden account, I guess.
All right, well, I will bring him on, but Ravnos can be very verbose, and I want you to track the audience. If they're getting tired of the conversation, let me know, because we got a lot to get through. I like talking to Ravnos, but he can talk a lot. Here we go. All right, Weed'em or Bust. What's going on, champion? He ain't saying shit. Oh, it's because I muted him. What's up? What's up, Ravnos?
How's it going, buddy? You having one of those days?
No, I don't know if I'm having one of those days. I'm just so tired of everybody being so hateful and negative, and and bitchy, and maybe the Buddhist in me should look at them and say, yeah, man, they're doing that because they're upset and they're sad and they feel unheard and they feel invisible. And so there is compassion I have for these people. But at the same time, it's like, man, could you guys just, for once, just find something to be joyful about? There's so many games out there. And it's just a constant barrage of, it's fucking annoying, man.
I know. I see it. The last time you talked with Colin, you mentioned a good point, at least about the female stuff, not the, oh my God, Yasuke was in samurai stuff.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of the dudes, they might not actually be gross. They might literally just enjoy something that you never thought about. Like, you know, like you said, like Colin told you, he usually prefers to play a dude in a game, but not for any reason. It's just, if you're given a choice, he usually just picks the guy.
I get that. And I said, hey, you know what? That's a really good point. I hadn't really thought about it that way. And I think that makes total sense. But how does what does that have to do with this?
I know, but see, that's the problem with this, because in this you have a choice. You can either play, or maybe it's the problem is the obvious one, which is he's black. I mean, let's not
and they're
beat
racist.
around the bush.
I don't think all of them, or
People
even
aren't
most
gonna
of them,
have
are
a fit 'cause
racist.
He's black. They
Right.
don't want to play black guy for
right. Let's
whatever
move. Yeah,
weird
let's kind of move that off to the left. I mean, at that point, you can kind of go. If we look at the stats, like let's ask this question: if we look at the stats and say, the vast majority of the audience for this particular game are straight men. Okay. And the stats show that straight men, as much as they like to have the sexy time with straight women or not, if they're not straight, doesn't matter, but women, bisexual, I mean, it was consensual. It doesn't matter. It's a whole different story. Then we're going to make the game for them. And then let's look at the stats and say the vast majority of those men are either white or and like to play as white dudes. And we haven't seen stats to say the black dudes who are straight are going to walk away. So yes, let's serve up what the audience is asking for. At that point, I think you can go, whose job is it? And is it even possible to say, is it our responsibility as artists and creators to help move the ball of progression down the field? Or is it like, dude, that's just the majority of your audience are white straight dudes. They want to play themselves in the game. And there's not enough black straight dudes. I don't know if that's true. I'm just making this up. I'm making these stats up. I'm not saying this the way it is. There are not enough black straight dudes to tip the financial scale. So let's just make all of our characters for this particular genre of game white straight dudes. At a business level, if that's the case, I don't think that is a problem. If it only becomes a problem in a meta level because you are part of the culture, and one could argue, maybe correctly, that those choices perpetuate a lack of visibility for other people. And the reason a lot of white straight dudes don't want to play black straight dudes in games has nothing to do with preference and everything to do with societal engineering, unintentionally or intentional, of what they like. And then at that point, it becomes a responsibility question. But if it is just a pure, it's evolution, you want to play people the way that you feel you look or you aspire to be, and there's more white people than black people playing, then at that point, you're like, well, it's just sort of, it's kind of a business decision. So I think it is a nuanced, interesting, psychological, sociological conversation to be had at a level and by people who are probably a lot smarter and more researched in this than we are. So it's
there's people with degrees in this shit.
Yeah. So
this is where you get into people that are both, they have a double major of psychology and sociology.
Yeah.
Those people are the ones that are, trying to figure this shit out. And then they have the little math nerds that are or the other weird nerds that are double major psychology math, and they're trying to figure out how to get us addicted to games.
Yeah, so
like the guy who made Balatro, he literally, that's what he did. He used to come up with ways to hook gamers to feel addicted and to have that impulse to just keep playing.
Sure, I know. That's I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into that conversation. I mean, you're not wrong, but that's not what I'm talking about today. So
I know.
Yeah.
The Yasuke thing is weird, like, because it opens up a lot of different wormholes. Of,
right.
Like,
well, is it
why
weird?
People are going to hate on this game.
Okay, but I can't. What I won't do. Shut up, Johnny Utah. What I won't do is say that anybody that, like, do I think you cannot be a racist and still have a problem with Yasuke in the game? Absolutely.
Yes.
But I don't think that has been articulated well by any of those people all that much. Like in the chat right now, someone's going, well, it's what's so hard about it, Jonathan says. People wanted to play as a Japanese guy in the Japanese Assassin's Creed game. It's not that deep. And my answer to you would be this. Assassin's Creed has historically allowed you to play as people that aren't necessarily, the totally accurate fit. There are plenty of sword games you can play Japanese straight men in. The idea that, okay, so one shows up where you can play this character, and that's the reason it seems weird, Jonathan. Not the fact that you didn't want to be a Japanese guy in Assassin's Creed, but that just, I mean, it's not like there's...
Jaffe,
it just,
think of it this way. Think of it from the other way. You agree... you're like, it seems weird. Okay, but how weird is it that when you have over 1,000 years of historical samurai, you choose the one historical figure that just so happens to be a former black slave? That to me is weirder than...
Really? I don't think so. Okay, so let me ask you this. If you're a writer on Assassin's Creed, and you're going, all right, we're doing it in Japan for the first time. Everybody's excited about it. What kind of story is going to be interesting to tell? Well, we've seen Jin Sakai. We've seen, and I understand that not all of the other games are Japanese, but kind of for Americans, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it, and it's true. One Asian sword and sandals game is another Asian sword and sandals game. I'm not saying not everybody. Morgan got upset the other day because she's like, "What do you mean, Onimusha? The new one is set in the Nobunaga era." And I'm like, "Lady, what the fuck are you talking about?" I mean, I know what she's talking about, but I'm saying that there's not a lot of people that have that level of nuance and understanding of Japanese history and culture. So for most Americans, it's the same shit. Okay.
True.
So hang on. Wait. Let me fucking finish.
Okay.
So my point is, if you're a writer on one of these games and you go, well, there's 1,000 of these games with white, straight, Asian, samurai, ninja, whatever, and there have been forever since going back to the first Tenchu on PS1. Wouldn't it be cool if we dealt with some of the racial tension that comes from dropping a fish out of water, a big black dude who ain't from here, and suddenly he's this samurai, and how does the culture respond? And people say, well, yeah, that's cool, and it would make a good story and much more interesting maybe, but it is a Japanese game. Oh, okay, well, let's make another character you can play who's a Japanese lady. Okay, done. That to me is the probable reason. I don't think they were like, yeah, DEI, black guy, check. I don't think that's what happened. And frankly, I'm more interested in a black samurai dropped into the middle of what was racist Japan at the time and what happens. And if you play the game and read the people who've played the game, they say the first 12 minutes of the game, they directly deal with that. The game is at least to some extent about that.
Yeah, I've heard that it's part of the story.
Yes. I think that's interesting. Much more than you are the son of the great blah blah who was betrayed by Nobunaga's army and you have to go on a... It's like, oh God, again.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I've played every single Assassin's Creed game but one. I did not play Mirage. I just was burned out. because Valhalla was like so long.
Yeah.
When you put 273
No,
hours.
I don't want to get into a big discussion about Assassin's Creed. I'm with you on that. I
just think a lot of people
is time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people envisioned an Assassin's Creed in Japan is you're going to play a shinobi, not you're going to have the choice of being the guy who's a samurai
or a ninja,
the shinobi.
What? Oh, well, okay.
So it's
so go make your own fucking game. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
And the thing that people need to realize is they don't have to buy this game.
No. And
if they do a change, it's like, I don't like it, don't buy it. But at the same time, do you really need to go on to socials and cry about it?
And let people understand. The Boy Wonder says they're just a business putting out products. You people just make it personal, or the grifters telling you the devs to hate. Yeah, let me explain something. When people say, "But Jaffe, why are you talking about it?" Then let me tell you why I'm talking about it. I am not. Yeah, no. See, Eternal says, and getting up in arms about the most trivial matters. You don't understand. I am not. I am annoyed, but I'm not annoyed by what it sounds like you think I'm annoyed at. Maybe that's my fault for communicating poorly, and in that I am sorry, and I will try to do better. I don't care whether you play Assassin's Creed or not. I don't care. Even though I would prefer you not to be racist, I hope that if you're not playing it because of Yasuke, you are not, it's not because you're racist, it's for other reasons. That's not what I'm annoyed about. I'm annoyed about the fact that we are currently existing in an amazing time for video games. If you play at various places, on PlayStation, indie places, super raw indie stores that you can only get on PC, whatever. Kingdom Come 2 just came out, which is staggeringly cool. And the most immersive video game I've ever played. And it reminds me of that Louis C.K. bit he did on Conan, where it's like everything's wonderful and no one's happy. He's like, you know, if you remember that, he was like talking about the guy with the cell phone. It's like, it's not happening fast enough. And Louis C.K. is like, give it a minute. It's going into space. You know, and it's just like all of this shit is happening. And to me, what I'm annoyed at is just I can't get my head around. I'm both annoyed and I'm fascinated by why are people so fucking mad about everything?
It's got to be other stuff. It has to be things in their actual real life. It has to.
But you're right. But it's a emotional pandemic though, because it's not like, oh, we're just poking at a bunch of fucking idiot, basement dwellers, and we're really trying to basically say, haha, you're losers. You got nothing going on in your life. This is global, man. This is happening everywhere.
And what is global? What does almost everybody have access to? Social media.
We are. We're gonna go to the next section of the.
All right,
stream.
but you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But...
You're not wrong, Ravnos. It's a good point.
I know.
You have a good point. I know. All right.
I wasn't bitching about AC, guys.
All right. See you, man. All right.
Bye.
Still says, Jaffe, you're getting annoyed at social media and even your audience because people are giving their opinion in a gaming community, and you end up calling people. Oh, shut up, Stillran. No, if you just heard all of that conversation and you think, and I end up calling people racist, this is maybe why I'm also upset. Because I literally just had a 20 fucking minute conversation and I made it clear. Did I not say, you fucking knuckle dragging fuckstick? Did I not just say, Stillran, that there are people who can dislike having Yasuke in the game, and that doesn't make them racist? Jaffe, why are you getting upset and saying people are racist? Al, I'm tired of being with people this stupid. It hurts my brain pan. That guy has joined the Diet Soda Soldiers. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for supporting our show. And listen to this. Anus. Come on, man. You can't put your name it's Annals. Anything that starts with an A in, sir, has been given a gift membership from C. C, thank you so much for spreading the disease, the filth that is this show and the membership to this show to the rest of the world. I appreciate it, C. Welcome, Anus. Welcome, that guy. Thank you, fellas. Okay. Okay. That's different, Eric. That's a great conversation to have. He says, my concern about AC Shadows is that after the previews, the gameplay seems underbaked and not as refined. Yeah, I mean, that could be the case. I'm not going to defend it for that. I have heard a lot of people say positive things. Anthony in our chat has talked to 3 reviewers, and he said they were all positive. They really liked it. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But, yeah, that could be a very valid reason to be upset with it. 100%. Okay. Okay. Listen to this now. This is something. This is some shit. And I wonder if this was intentional and it's like a Hail Mary. So okay. MultiVersus players praise major Season 5 gameplay changes ahead of the server shutdown. And now Save MultiVersus is trending. I mean, come on. First off, let's be clear. Nothing will save this game. And now, and again, I like this game. I'm not knocking the game. But now it's one of the causes of the day. It's like, no, we want to save it. We're going to be those guys. Apparently what happened is, you know how the game kind of started off kind of slow and they sped it up with the relaunch. And now apparently they've sped it up a lot. And apparently, you know, people are like, this is it. This is what we want. It's great. And somebody on Twitter was like, yeah, you'll say that and you'll play it for a week and you'll go away again. There is something interesting about this game. It's got great characters. It's very well made. They listen to the audience. They put in a lot of sort of stuff to chase after for the seasons when they re-released the game. And it just couldn't connect. And I would agree. MK says, I just don't think the genre works as a games as a service. Yeah, but if that's the case, why does Brawlhalla work? And why has Brawlhalla worked for 13 fucking years? I'm not saying you're wrong, but that game is still having content made for it. It is still successful. But I don't understand what, you know, I don't understand why this couldn't connect, but I'm not one of these players. I know people who are into these kind of games like Smash and Brawlhalla said that this was a competitor. They said this was a valid piece of competition. Doomslayer says Brawlhalla is free. So is this. Yeah, it is cheaper to make. Right. It's absolutely cheaper to make. So maybe that's it. Maybe it is a Ubisoft game, but maybe Brawlhalla's expectation of what they need to be successful is financially not the same. And so maybe by, you know, a game that size, you could go, oh no, we're into some nice profit. But yeah, you could be absolutely correct. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Eternal says MultiVersus is pretty fun. Have you played the latest update where apparently it's been significantly sped up? And if so, how is it? MK Ness says, I personally love the shit out of the game. What I played, I really liked. I just, you know, games that are so focused on me really being great with one character, I don't spend too much time on because I know there's always a bigger fish, and I just won't ever make the time once I get to that level, so I just don't put myself through it. But anyway, I wanted to let you know that. So if you want to, you know, give your goodbyes and say your thanks to MultiVersus, then, you know, give it a play before it goes away. Apparently it's sped up. This guy on Twitter says, people are saying it looks hype and to uncancel it. Y'all are just going to play it for like a week and forget about it again. It's true. It's true. Yeah. Boy Wonder says, the devs never made a fighting game before this. I get it. But my understanding is a lot of fighting games, came to this and actually said this, you know, when they reviewed it, they said, this is actually really, really good. So Boy Wonder says, I play fighting games at a high level and almost every core aspect mechanic wise is missing. Okay, fair. Are those mechanics existing in Brawlhalla then? And that's why that one is made, able to, survive. check out Mouthwashing. Thank you, Kevin, for the super chat. And Heroes of Hammerwatch. The latter has a demo. I think you'll like them. I played Mouthwashing. I liked it a lot. I didn't love it like a lot of people. I thought it was really cool. Nowhere near as good as Among Ashes and While We Wait Here. Those are also two horror games indie from the end of last year that I think are better than Mouthwashing. Heroes of Hammerwatch I've never even fucking heard of, so I will check it out. Let me write it down. Okay, so if you're saying, Boy Wonder, that Brawlhalla is not as deep as a traditional fighting game, why do you think that has become so successful? I didn't call... Stillran says, I'm getting mad and calling racist because he seems to be... Stillran, this is why I'm upset, okay? Because no one listens. I literally made a distinction. I said, you can be upset that Yasuke, whatever the fuck his name is in AC Shadows, and it's not because you're racist. Do I think some people are upset because they're racist? I do. Do I think that's the only reason that you can be upset about that decision? I don't. Do I have to eat paper again? Let's move on. Hang on. I don't know. I'll save that. Look at this. This will give us some. I love you all too. Not all of you. Most of you. Look, it's the show, right? I mean, what do you come here for? Otherwise, okay, Brawlhalla is solid. That's interesting. That's very interesting to know that actually has those fundamentals, Boy Wonder. I mean, what do you want me to do? Just give you some boring fucking news? I got to talk about what I love and what I'm passionate about. Come on, man. You got to, what do you want? I mean, you want to hear about, here, I'll tell you what I had lined up. Do you really want to hear about a traveling Minecraft exhibit? Might be cool. London's getting an immersive Minecraft experience in April. Okay. 45 minutes. It does sound pretty cool. 45-minute journey through the attraction, guided by two unique characters, Tobin and Deo. They better not be blacks. They will learn to use the Orb of Interaction, a glowing interactive handheld device that guides the user room to room. Also known as, like, you know, a minimum wage high school kid who's like, all right, let's keep it moving. No prior knowledge of Minecraft is needed, organizers say, and the experience seeks to welcome families, parents. This better not be like that Willy Wonka shit. Tickets are $20 for kids and $24 for adults. A wait list for tickets is now open. You fucking wish. Can you imagine? That looks kind of cool, though. After a successful debut in Dallas, Texas this past autumn, we're excited to bring our first ever immersive touring Minecraft experience to its next stop in London. We're thrilled to offer players and fans new ways to engage with Minecraft this April. Finding ways for our community to express their love for Minecraft, both in-game and out, is always top of mind for us, says Kayleen Waters, head of franchise development at Mojang Studios. What an idiot she is. I don't know. We can't wait for more of our global community to experience it. That's kind of cool, though. Let's take a quick look at it. I started making fun of it, but I think that shit's cool. Immersive, hang on. God damn it, Jaffe. Dallas. Let's see what it looks like. Because it was there. It's kind of neat, man. Look at that shit. Let's go to a video. Give me a video of this shit. I don't want to watch this crap in pictures. Oh, come on now.
All right, guys, Dallas, Texas.
We're not watching the whole thing. I'm going to skim through it.
There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, they got bees.
Okay, so you can actually... Okay, that's kind of fun. Come on now.
That's really cool.
Come on now.
So you have to stand on the spots to activate your orb, and then you can go and attack the little spider. Get him! Get the spider!
I want to go do this. What else we got? Oh, that's cool, man. They got actual building things and like the screens, and they got stuff built out. That shit's neat. Oh, they go in the Nether portal. My kids would have lost their shit when they were kids.
All right. So we've absorbed the lava.
Right, Johnny Utah?
Over here.
Robbo, Minecraft Legends isn't bad. Maybe it's gotten a lot better. I could never really lose myself in it. I wanted to, but I didn't love it. All right, let's see. Portal. Let's see if they fight the Nether Dragon. Lava.
Right in the belly.
They're throwing rocks and shit. Oceans. All right, you get the idea. And then, of course, there's a gift shop. That's cool. All right. Well, if that comes to San Diego, maybe I'll go to that thing, man. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Okay. Anyway, see, we can talk about nice things here on the show. Look at this, by the way. Look at this, by the way. This is kind of cool. A virtual LAN party is coming to Steam. The upcoming LAN party app is going to bring players together in a virtual environment and share their streams in one place. I want to watch this with you guys because I don't know what the fuck this is. It sounds cool. But it may be horrible. But let's watch. It's just a little trailer. Don't lose your shit. Don't lose your goddamn shit. Here we go. This is a trailer for the LAN party. Hang on. In the next couple of months, right? I think that's cool. I think that's neat, man. I will certainly try it. Experience in-person gaming online. LAN Party is designed to be the perfect complement to your gaming group. Whether you're playing the same game competitively, cooperatively, or playing different games entirely, LAN Party makes communicating and sharing gameplay so much easier. Welcome to the next era of online gaming where the excitement, energy, and camaraderie of a LAN party meets the freedom of the virtual world. If this is good, and maybe shit, but if it's good and I can make a private one, you goddamn right, I'm going to have like a Gabbin' and Games game room. I think that would be the coolest fucking thing. What would be cool too is if you can have the host who has his games and you can play his games, but I don't know if they're going to let that happen. There's been an app called, I've done Big Screen before, RPG, but this seems different. The interface, whoops, let me turn that down. The interface is, I think, what makes this a lot more interesting because on Big Screen, everyone goes into one person's room and watches what that one person wants you to watch. This sounds like you can just have a hangout and you can watch people playing games or you can play your own games or whatever. I don't know. I'm into stuff like this. I like this. And I'll tell you, who is this for? People in lockdown, says Ravnos. Why is everything a problem? Who's it for? It's for the people that are watching this stream. Imagine having, hey, we're going to do a Gabbin' and Games, but we're doing it in the game room. And you can walk around and you can test some of the games out we're talking about. And, it's a neat little fucking social experience online. And I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you something else, Ravnos. This is the future for game shows. I don't mean game shows like Price is Right. I mean like E3 or PAX is basically doing, virtual convention centers where you can wander and play all this shit and talk and go with your friends. I would absolutely love to have PAX online with a interface like this, and you could just walk around with people and talk to them while you're walking and say, dude, come try this, come try that. It's just neat, man. I dig it. Anyway, yeah, MK Ness says, I moved away from where I grew up. I don't have many people to hang out with in person anymore. This sounds awesome to me. Yeah, I think it's cool, man. I'm super excited about it. Scarlet Love says, you should come watch me beat up people like Sonic Fox on Mortal Kombat. Okay. I mean, I guess you're good, right? Because Sonic Fox is pretty good, correct? Do we care about the wrestling? I kind of do. I'm kind of getting back into the wrestling. We're not going to spend too much time talking about it, but I do want to let you know the rosters have been announced so far for WWE 2K25. Here's who we got. I'm not going to spend any real time. Just want to let you know. Show you pictures. Cody Rhodes. There we go. Of course. CM Punk. Of course. People thought he was going to win the Royal Rumble the other day. Didn't. Bailey. I miss the old Bailey. I miss the old baby. Baby Bailey. Bailey baby. God damn it. Liv Morgan. Yeah, but now that Alexa Bliss is back, I don't care. Damian Priest. Rhea Ripley. Undertaker's back, of course. Roman Reigns is back. Jey Uso, who did win the Royal Rumble. Jimmy Uso, Paul Heyman, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa. I don't know this guy. Jacob Fatu. This guy was awesome, by the way, the other night. He was awesome the other night, man. Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, Uncle Howdy. You got to get the Bray Wyatt 6 pre-order bonus. That's cool, though. Eric Rowan, Dexter Loomis, I don't know a lot of these people. Nikki Cross is still in there. Cena's still in there. Batista's coming. Oh, Becky Lynch. I love Becky Lynch. Bret Hart. China. Oh, wow. Mysterio. Lita. Okay, anyway. Nia Jax. All right, I'm going to get this game. I'm excited for this game. Seth Rollins. There you go. Okay. Well, The Undertaker's not wrestling anymore, but, he's in the games. I mean, isn't China dead? Didn't China die? Liv is totally the stand-in for Alexa Bliss, but Alexa Bliss came back the other day, over the weekend. So, Ravnos, I think it's both, frankly. I think there's, I enjoy wrestling, but I can only take so much of it. Listen to this. Dragon Age veteran David Gator has a similar view on the series' future as anyone not named Moneybags McCorporate. Look to Baldur's Gate 3, not live service. I am curious about this story because, if you don't know, the CEO of EA the other day came out and said, well, we think one of the problems with Dragon Age's failure not delivering was that, gamers today really want a connection with their friends, blah, blah, blah. And he wasn't saying it was going to be a games as service game, but, he's kind of not wrong if you're talking about the kind of money that these guys demand. Like, people can point to Kingdom Come 2 and go, see, that's all single player, sold 1 million copies in a day. And I was one of the guys who bought it. And I love it. But EA money is very different. Like what they need a game to do. I think their biggest issue is more that those kind of games are just 95% of the time are never going to deliver for these people, right? It's like, if you look at a company like this, you see the Sniper Elite ad on your screen. Who are those guys? Rebellion, I think, published this. These guys, to them, a hit is very different than to EA. So I think the real big takeaway, honestly, if you're EA, is if you're only happy with every game bringing in the FIFA money or the Madden money or the college football money, then what you probably should do is stop making single player narrative games, because the vast majority of them are hits, but they're not, that our hits are not the kind of hits that you need them to be in order to justify what you want to spend on them. And that's not to say there weren't, of course, people are using this quote from the CEO as a reason to say, see, you guys just don't understand. It was the woke stuff and this and that wasn't the problem with Baldur's Gate, not Baldur's Gate, but Dragon Age, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, the bigger problem is the market for this kind of game isn't growing, and younger kids are not coming up to fill in the gaps. They don't play these kind of games as much. And so that to me is the real story. But yeah, people are like, oh, is this going to make Mass Effect a service-based game? My advice to you, and I just bought Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. I've never played Mass Effect. I'm going to play it on stream soon. My advice to you would be find another brand in the space that is coming from companies that make the kind of games you like. Because the brands you came up with that you get excited about for sequels, like when they're coming from an EA or even potentially a Ubisoft, it's hard to say. We'll have to see. You know, Star Wars tanked. I loved it, but it didn't do well. But we'll see what AC does. But those companies have a very different metric of success now. And, you know, these games aren't delivering that. Yeah, JD says Exodus. Exodus looks pretty cool, I will say. I'm looking forward to this the more I hear about it. It's a space. It's a little goofy. That's not true, Blackjack. There's some goofy parts about it, but this does look kind of cool, and it's from a pretty good team. If I'm trying to remember who they are, but I remember reading about it and going, oh, these guys have done some really, really cool shit. So, but the point is there are companies out there that are making the kind of games you're talking about. But you're going to have to find them outside of those franchises and maybe even those budgets, because people, you know, that's not what they're looking for anymore. Okay. I'm not saying Ravno's all games should be live service. However, we should not hate any new live service before seeing how bad they did. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I like service games, but I also like single player narrative games. Scarlet Love says it's hard to take your advice, Jeffy. I'm not giving you advice. I'm giving opinion. I'm sorry. I mean, you've had a lot of failures in gaming and you've pushed a lot of games that became failures because of wokeness. I think you don't know how to read. Oh, you poor brainwashed person. Okay. I've had more hit. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Okay. Jaffe, did you make any effort into putting your kids on single player games or not? These kids had access to every game you could imagine. Everything that I brought home. And I played games with them. I played, single player games. They just never stuck with them. I remember once we were flying to Alabama, and Calvin, I gave him my 3DS, and he was playing, honestly, what is probably my favorite Zelda of all time, which is A Link Between Worlds. And I was like, this is it. I've got him. And he was like, he liked it, but he played for 20 minutes and probably went back to Minecraft or some such. So, it's just, a lot of it is, it's the games today, whether they're good games, bad games, psychologically, sociologically engineered games to keep them addicted. I don't know, but there's something about them being able to sort of have these, their playgrounds are much more cooler than mine were because they're these amazing virtual worlds, man. Okay. Yeah, indie games are amazing, Brandon, 100%. Johnny says Alabama has airports. Just one, and there's a guy in the back room who's pedaling really, really fast to keep all the planes up. Okay. Okay. Let's move forward. There is no solution needed. He says Ravno's live service is the solution. The solution to what? Again, you got this is what it's like. You ever hear that parable about the elephant? Well, it's not. This is a real one, so it's not a parable. But you know how you can you train an elephant in the circus to be submissive, and you have this, by the end of it, you put a little chain around his ankle that he could break by sneezing, but he's been so conditioned that he doesn't even realize he's free. A lot of you guys that act like these fucking games are terrible today, I feel bad for you. It's like being hungry and there's food all around you. You just don't turn around and see it. Games are amazing today. They're absolutely amazing today. And yeah, I don't know what you guys are, where are you playing, man? It's so weird. Okay. Oh, Doomslayer, I don't think you understand. If I let me be clear. If I can pull a piece of a conversation out of the chat and I can make content out of it and entertain people and prove a point that I do believe in, I'm okay if I'm pulling it out of context. You know, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but if you're here watching the show and texting and chatting with me, you're part of the show. So I will use you as a tool to entertain the people that are in the majority who are not chatting, who are watching after the fact or watching live or whatever. So if I sometimes get it wrong, it's not that it's a hustle. It's just that it's like, it's content, right? I'll never lie, but I'll use something you may have said without spending 20 minutes to check the context. So don't take it personal if I got your context wrong. Okay. Robbo says, I don't think the kids today aren't really giving games a shot. We grew up more open to options because we had curated magazines. Well, also because I think what you have to understand is, you know, it was that, but it was also the fact that you had less options and you weren't, believe it or not, you weren't as picky back then. Right. So now you would believe, because you had so many fewer options, you believed anything that was good enough was great. But what we learn now is with all these options, good enough is more than good enough for most players. And that's why the kids are like, Minecraft's fine. Minecraft offered something brilliant. It didn't need the graphics and it was worth it. I guess is what I would say. But where did it go? Jaffe, if we're part of the show, when do we get a cut of the revenue? You're not. You don't. It's just like WWE. You not only do you pay them to get a ticket to a live event, they then use you as the audience to make the show seem more exciting for the people back home who are watching it on TV. Okay. Okay. Anyway, just reading the chat. Sorry. Okay. What else do we got? PlayStation. I'm only bringing this up about, because PlayStation DMCA's Nightmare Kart creator Bloodborne PS1 demake after she announces new DLC. They have been taking down a bunch of Bloodborne projects lately. I really think this is a really bad, it's a bad look for Sony. I mean, I'm sorry, it really is. Whether or not they're making another Bloodborne or a remake or not, as long as this person's not charging for it, and she may have been charging for it, but I don't think she was that foolish. As long as she's not charging for the goddamn thing, you know, let people celebrate what they love that you guys have made. I mean, let Nintendo be Nintendo. So GS0008 says she was not charging for it. I played it. Then Sony, don't be idiots, you fucking stupid idiots. Good, Jaffe. Because these days, it's not that it's so easy to make a game. It's not, but it's easier than it's ever been. And this is like cosplay, man. No one's making money off of it. No one's putting out a Bloodborne mod where you can, you know, I don't fucking know, fuck the werewolves. I haven't played it in a long time, but you know, or anything that's disrespecting your brand. they are celebrating it. They are loving it. And you don't owe them a sequel. You don't owe them a remake. But this just is, and maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't care. But this is a bad look. That's okay. You make all the money right now. You're the #1 console seller. Maybe you don't give a fuck about looking bad. But what really is this harming? And maybe if it is harming something, you also don't owe the audience a legal explanation for what it's harming. You absolutely don't. It's your brand. Do with it what you want. But you probably, if you really think it's harming the brand, it's not going to hurt to let people know. Well, why would we do that, Jaffe? It doesn't matter if we tell them we don't make more money. If we tell them we're not going to make any more money. If we don't tell them we're not going to make any less money. No, you're right, Sony. But sometimes it's, I don't know, just a nice thing to do for people who love your brand and love the brands that run on your box. Sometimes it's just a nice fucking thing to do. It's not the point, Ravnos. They only want the name removed. That is all. They shouldn't want any of it removed. Why remove any of it? Unless there is a good reason. And maybe there is, but then I think they should fucking share it. Do I think they have to? Of course not. Do I think they need to? Of course not. But it would be nice. That's all I'm saying. It would be nice. That's all I'm saying. What's this?
Are you a good sport?
All right. I've been getting a lot of content from, well, I've gotten Shoe's interview, and then MinMax has been on fire with good interviews lately. Here's what we're going to do. I got to go get a Coke. Tech.
Whoa.
Talk to the audience for like 3 minutes. I'll be back, and we are going to watch this rapid fire questions about Avowed to get some new news. I know the latest news that everyone's excited about is, oh no, it's running at 60 on Xbox. Cool, whatever. I've never really cared either way. But that said, though, we are going to watch this and hope for some other news in here. It's a rapid fire, 175 questions in 12 minutes. But jeez. I'll be back in a second. We're going to do that. In the meantime, can you please talk to the good chat, see what they're on about, and I'll be back in a second, all right?
Sounds good. Hey, boys, do you know what my belly button looks like?
No. Entertain them. Talk to them. What are they talking about? Save the wisecracking nonsense for the late afternoon show, my friend.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Sony fans don't like Bloodborne. They want a Horizon Lego game. I'd play a fucking Horizon Single Dawn. Is it Single Dawn? Whatever it is, chat. The little robot animal game. I'd play the fuck out of that if it was Lego themed. Can you imagine crafting your own rideable Lego dinosaur? Lego Robo Dinosaur? That'd be pretty sick. Show those dogs, says MK Ness. Cannot. I don't have camera access on this stream. You sound like you need to get out more, says Anthony Ray. I get out enough, but I'm of the fairer skin, so the sun sucks. Dinosaurs have big feet, says Warp Die. You know what? You show your feet to guys on the internet for money one time, and they'll never let you live it down. MKN says, why we even subbing without that regular foot content? Pomper says, sound like you're hung like a horse.
All right, I have returned.
Do they hang horses? I feel like there's a lot of weight on one rope to hang a horse.
I have returned, my friends. Okay. They did make a Lego Horizon game. Yeah, tanked. All right. Are we ready? Let's see if we get any really good, juicy info. But of course, it's a woman game director. Where are we going to hear about that? We're going to hear people bitch about that. Whatever. Here we go. This is the game director of Avowed that comes out next week, something like that. And let's see what she's talking about. Tech, are we ready?
Good to go.
All right.
Try to beat. What is the biggest misconception out there? Are you a good sport?
Try to beat.
What is the biggest misconception out there about Avowed?
I've still heard people say that Avowed is fully open world. It is open zone.
How big is Avowed?
It is roughly the same scope as the Outer Worlds.
Can any studio outdork Obsidian?
Oh, goodness. I think we're in good company.
Yeah, but no one's going to respond with, oh, goodness, other than you all. So you did it. That's the dorkiest response I could imagine. Can you just say the words Fallout New Vegas so people can stop leaving comments about it?
Because you've asked me to say the words Fallout New Vegas, I will say the words Fallout New Vegas.
Thank you. Could your choices in Avowed ever carry forward to a hypothetical sequel?
Hypothetically.
What was the biggest benefit from delaying the game into 2025?
More time to cook.
What was the last big feature that you put in the game?
We've done a lot of polish to difficulty and upgrade costs.
Do you want people to compare this game to Skyrim?
People to start comparing other games to this game.
Do the enemies scale with your level?
Enemies do not scale with your level.
Who made that key art for the game?
A group called Skylight made our key art.
Is that like our skeleton, like the player character skeleton, or what is that supposed to be?
I think it's a composite of the living lands and also our primary antagonist.
What is your favorite fact about Honduras?
The food is delicious.
I saw on LinkedIn you were like, you work for the consulate?
For 3 months. Yeah, it was a summer job.
How good are the jerk dialogue options in this game?
You can be a pretty sassy little jerk.
Okay.
It's fun.
You're welcome to be a sassy little jerk in this interview if you like. I won't hold it against you. How much control do I have over the companions in this game?
You can tell them what to attack and how to attack it.
Can I make their builds?
You can choose what powers to upgrade them into, yes.
Can I give them equipment?
No.
Can I do anything to change their appearance?
We do have some special skin packs that are coming with the Premium Edition.
Can you keep playing the game after you roll credits?
You can start a new game after you roll credits. There's a point of no return shortly before the end game really starts.
I know Microsoft probably wants to be secretive with a bunch of these numbers and stuff, but can you tell me exactly how many Avowed Sherpa blankets y'all have sold from the merch store?
I have no idea.
Do you have an Avowed?
I want one now, though.
You don't have them in the studio?
A Sherpa blanket? That sounds amazing.
So you're not a watcher in the game, right?
You are not a watcher.
Do you care about souls as a character?
Caring about your own soul is a factor in the story, yes.
What a weird sentence.
It's a weird game.
By the end of the game, do you know which god you belong to?
If you've been paying attention, yes.
Is it a pretty important thing for the story?
Yes.
Is it a crime to subscribe to a YouTube channel?
No.
I didn't think so either. Did you design areas with the kick in mind?
We designed a lot of falls with various impulse abilities in mind. Kicking is not your only way of yeeting.
But there's going to be a lot of that of people just like la-di-da walking along a cliff and stuff.
There's going to be enough to keep you satisfied, yes.
Did you always plan on supporting a third-person camera in the game?
Yes.
Is a little jank kind of a good thing?
You gotta accept a little jank to do something fun and creative, I think.
A little jank in the trank.
Do you remember when we did that rapid fire interview back for the Outer Worlds? Were you ever like, whew, I am glad that is not me?
I've erased it from my memory already.
Do you think there's ever going to be a physical version of this game?
Don't know.
Can I dual wield a wand and a pistol?
Yes.
Do I use the wand as like a ramrod, like in the pistol?
You do not. That would probably break your wand and or your pistol.
Are there any broken builds in general you want to plug for this game?
Dual wield maces.
But it's fun?
Oh, you meant broken good.
Broken good.
Oh, goodness. Now I'm conscious of how much I'm saying that. Put a lot of points into dexterity and you will be very fast at everything, which feels fantastic.
What's it going to be like for players who play this game like it's just Halo 2 dual wielding pistols trying to gun their way through?
It's a lot of fun. You will have to reload more often than you do in Halo, but you'll never run out of ammo.
Like what are we doing here? I mean, Avowed is obviously coming to PlayStation 5 at some point. I know you can't say anything, but just as a secret nod, just if it's coming to PS5 sometime, just breathe at some point throughout the rest of the interview.
At some point throughout the rest of the interview? I got it. Okay.
Can you wear headgear in the game?
You're a godlike, so you have kind of your own freaky head features.
So I saw online that you did a quick fire interview with PC Gamer about Avowed.
I did, but yours is better, I promise.
Okay, I think we kind of need to assert our dominance if that's okay. So if I can go full rap god, is that allowed?
There you go. Go for it.
Okay. Microtransactions.
No.
DLC.
Maybe.
Multiple endings.
Yes.
Text cards.
Yes.
Big boss battles.
Yes.
Series X frame rate.
You can get up to 60.
New Game Plus.
New game.
What's the most underrated Telltale game?
Tales from the Borderlands.
Are there going to be character cameos from Pillars 1 and 2?
Yes.
Over 3.
Yes.
Is there class-specific loot?
Anyone can pick up anything.
Destructible environments?
In part.
Can you share quickly? Or we can drop the whole rapid fire thing. Can you share any big lessons from, team management, structure, all that fun stuff from this project?
Leave lots of time to iterate, figure out how to get people.
Now I'm getting bored. Okay. All right. I'm getting bored now. Are you guys getting bored? Can we move on? I mean, there's nothing she said that makes me go, I'm super into this. I want to play this game. I'm excited for it. But now I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about the process of making the game. All right. Well, if you want to watch it, it's over on MinMax. It's good. I like it. But, I'm going to move on because, Jesus, too much. Very PR. Yeah, Okay. I'm reading the chat. Let me go back and see what you guys were saying. I am excited for this game. I really do want to play Avowed. Looking forward to it. Okay. What else we got, boys? Marvel Spider-Man 2 review from PC Gamer. They gave it a 57. They didn't like it. There were some crashes that they fixed, but they said it was toothless writing, old-fashioned open-world game design, and but the swinging was good. You know, I mean, what I think, here's why I wanted to bring this up, though. What I thought was interesting about this is I don't think Spider-Man 2 is a 57, but I don't know what it's sitting at on Metacritic. Let's see. Spider-Man 2, PS5, Metacritic. I think out of all the ones they've made, Miles Morales is the best one. Okay, so it's at a 90. I also don't think this is some amazing, great video game either. I think it's a wonderfully, beautifully well-made video game. But the reason I bring it up is it's not about that. It's not that Sony forgot to send them a check or anything like that. People are, you know, whatever. No, it's not that PC gamers, Rob, are spoiled either. And yeah, the port's not very good. There's a patch. Maybe it'll fix a lot of that stuff. But I bring it up because I'm interested in this concept about it. I think this is more about expectation of the two different types of players, right? The idea of cinematic action adventure games, I think, are great. I'm a little tired of them, but I think they're great. But I think that the PC gamer, because they have access to so many other types of games, and to be frank, they have access to a keyboard and a mouse. Not that you can't plug that into your PlayStation, but 99% of the players are not playing with keyboard and mouse on their console, right? But I think it's more about systems for PC gamers. I do, even though, yes, you can play cinematic action adventure games on PC, and that's great. But I do think that if you are more of a systems-based gamer, which is what I think most PC gamers are, and you play something like Spider-Man, you're probably not going to be all that impressed. Not because it's not technically brilliant, and not because it's not fun. And so I don't think it rates a 57, but I definitely think if you are coming from a world of PC systems-based games where you feel you have so much control and so much freedom and so much immersion, and then you're kind of put into something that almost feels like, you know, it's almost like you really like reading deep, interesting literature, and then you're given a really fun airport novel. They both have their place, but I think there is more gamer nutrition, I think, on more PC games. I think there is. I think that's probably why you're seeing this 57 on this review. And again, I mean, I like the game. I'm not knocking the goddamn Spider-Man 2. I enjoyed it very, very much. But I do think that it is, it's more interesting to me about the differences between the expectations of what the gamers are looking for on both platforms, which is not to say don't get a PC if you like cinematic action adventure games, because they exist at the same level for the most part, on PC. A 57 is absurd. I agree, Merc. I don't know, you know, it's not like at the end they're like saying, oh, it's buggy and that's the reason. Although I have heard it is very, very buggy. Our PS5 in 2023, it served as an impressive technical showcase, they write. On PC in 2025, without those advantages and in a disappointingly shaky state, it's much more difficult to recommend. So my guess is, like, if I were to rate Spider-Man 2, I would say it's probably like a 75. If I were to rate Miles Morales, I'd say it's like a 90. But it's not just because it's a bad port. No, the port is a problem, and they do bring up the port. That's what I'm trying to make it clear. It's not about the problem of the port. That is brought up. It is mentioned. But if you look at kind of the summary, it doesn't even really come up. It says toothless writing, old-fashioned open world design, and ropey port work undermine what should be a thrilling cinematic adventure. So, sorry, it does come up in the summary That's going to get improved. It's already been improved. But I think it's hard to argue with the toothless writing and the old-fashioned open world design is what I'm saying. Why do I like the Miles game more? They're very similar, says Lux. 2 reasons. I think the writing is much better. I think it's a better story. I think the characters are more interesting. I think that the setting, doing New York at Christmas, just for me personally, is much more. It feels more immersive. It feels more like a world I also want to be in and lose myself in. And I also think maybe it came out at a time where the gameplay wasn't as stale. But now you go to part 2 of Spider-Man 2, and you're like, I've done this before. I did it in 1. I did it in Miles. I did it in this. And it's just kind of like, okay, it's just long in the tooth, basically. So that's why. That's what I would say. Okay. I do want to talk about Kingdom Come a little bit now. I'm not going to spend forever on it. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's done really well. Robbo says, what other current games on PC have more open world mechanics than Spider-Man 2? Well, funny you should ask. Kingdom Come. It's not even so much they have more mechanics, although that game does. It's more like if you look at something like Stalker 2, right? Which it's too hard for me, but I can recognize what it is and appreciate it. Or if you look at something like Kingdom Come 2, which is very hard, but it's not turning me off in the way Stalker 2 was. There's more of a premium put on the simulation. Spider-Man, a great example, like Spider-Man 2 or any of the Sony games so far, although it does sound like Neil Druckmann is, changing, which I think is very exciting to see. I'm very curious what more freedom looks like for Druckmann. But if you look at any of the mainline Sony games, they're their stories. That's Corey's story. Back in the day, it was Jaffe's story. It's Druckmann's story, and you're along for the ride. But if you look at a game like Stalker 2, if you look at a game like Kingdom Come, you play those games the way you want to play them. And that is kind of the new expectation that I think will begin to trickle into console. We certainly saw it with Elden Ring. But you don't play Spider-Man and go, I'm going to play Spidey as this, as a bad guy or whatever. I mean, you do in that game, you know what I'm saying? And people would say, oh, but that's not Spider-Man. I'm like, I get it. I understand why. I'm not complaining about. I'm just saying that there is more of a sense of the simulation becoming the expectation for gamers, and you see a lot of things start on PC and filter to console. I think that's what's happening. So that's why Spider-Man does feel old-fashioned, Spider-Man 2. And I'm very curious how they're going to evolve on console, is what I would say. And I don't agree. Doomslayer says the only good thing about Spidey 2 is the swinging. I mean, that's no offense, sir, and maybe you don't mean it exactly that, but I think if you take you literally, I would say that's ridiculous. The game is very well made. The combat is fluid. The combat is fun. There's some cool side missions. There's some cool boss fights. It's just, it's very been there, done that. I think there's a lot of, it's very well made though, in my opinion. It's all subjective, of course. Anyway, point though is, so Kingdom Come is out, sold 1 million copies in the first day, doing pretty well. I will tell you, I love this game, sitting in an 88 on Metacritic, 88 with the users as well. Although some people are review bombing it. We'll get to that in a little bit. But I love this game. And it's the most immersive game, I believe. I'd have to think about it more, but it's the most immersive game that I've ever played. And I did this video yesterday, and I want to talk about this. I did this thing where the game is doing such a good job of making me feel like I'm living in this world. And it's not because the graphics are the best. They're great graphics, but I haven't really done the analytics to figure out what it is, but it takes itself and its systems and how those systems affect other people very, very seriously. and they merge a lot of those systems, right? So what I'm about to tell you is it's not like you've never seen this before. Like there's a night and day cycle, right? So yesterday I was trying to find the scribe of the town because I had found this book and I wanted to sell it because I wanted to get money to buy a better weapon. And I went to where he was and where he worked, and it was closed, and it wasn't like 2 a.m. And I'm like, where the fuck is this guy? And I started wandering around the town. It's relatively small. And I'm like, oh, he was just taking a break and having a drink over at the tavern. And so I was able to engage with him at the tavern, sell the book to him there, blah, 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 right? All these, or I wanted to wash my clothes, but there was a lady who was using the pond to wash the clothes, and I had to wait for her to be done. So I went and did something else, and I came back and I washed my clothes at the pond, which upped my charisma because my clothes weren't at that point covered with blood and shit, right? So it's a lot of those systems working together where in order to play it well, or at least in order to not die and advance, you have to start thinking like you are living in the space, okay? And so in that, it starts to seep into my immersion of my character. So yesterday, I open in this, or you don't open, but part of the game, the very beginning, that's wrong. I can't speak. I'm tired. After the prologue, you kind of find yourself in kind of a very small little squalor town, and the people clearly don't have a lot. And I broke into this house and I saw this bread, and I literally wouldn't take it. No one would have caught me, but I made a video about this. I didn't want to take it and eat it because I just kind of felt like, well, I don't want to be that guy, right? I have no interest in being that guy to these people, right? And later in the game, though, and I just find this is what I love about games that do this better than any other medium. So, but it's hard if you stay on the straight and narrow, right? So I didn't, because you don't have anything. They take everything from you at this part in the game. And I could not advance if I didn't have the money to buy better weapons. And so there's lots of ways you could do it probably. But what I ended up doing was I waited until nighttime. I saved up enough by playing this dice game to get a spade. And I talked to this bailiff in town who told me about these shallow graves. And I went and I dug up these bodies that had just been buried. And then I basically stole all the shit they had been buried with. And I was absolutely terrified that people were going to recognize the sword and shields I had taken and be pissed at me. But they didn't, thank God. And so I could sell them and blah, 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 right? So there's something so cool when a game makes you do that even though the game can be very slow and punishing, the immersion for me, and I doubt I'll ever finish this fucking game, but the immersion for me so far in this game has just been so rich that I really miss being in that world. And for me, that's a very rare thing, right? And this kind of bleeds into some of the controversy that this game is having right now, which is there's people now who are, and I did this other thing, by the way, hang on. So, and then I found, when I was exploring, I found these totems to old gods. Now, this guy you play is a Christian dude, right? And it wasn't that I said, I don't give a shit about religion anyway, right? So it's not like because I am a real Christian in my real life, I don't want to break these Christian tenets. But in this case, it's clear these aren't his gods, and it didn't occur to me to even care about stealing from the graves, not the graves, but the totems where people had left offerings for pagan gods, right? And it's neat how it makes you think. It's neat how it makes, and then I started finding myself going, oh, maybe I need to steal a horse, right? It's I'm sorry I'm rambling, but it's fascinating, and I don't quite know how to articulate it well yet, and I'm sorry for that. But so I'm going to steal a horse the next time I play, because there's this guy named Tomcat off in the forest that's going to teach me to fight better. And I can't fight that well right now, which means I'm dying all the time. And it is so interesting that you can start the game going, my own moral code is I don't want to steal from these people. I don't want to be bad to these people. I don't want to desecrate these people's graves. But just like the real world, it's like there's a point. Everyone's got a point. And I've reached my point where I'm going to have to start doing some of these things that I didn't want to do, because at some point you just have to survive. And it's such a neat metaphor, and it's such a neat simulation of the real world's take on that, where in a capitalist society, it's like you can be as moral as you want, but having morals is a privilege, right? There's a point where you do what you have to do to live, and your morals are out the window. And I think it's really neat that the game has made me feel that way. JJD says that's too much thinking. It's not, though. It's not that I went into this looking to have this kind of experience. I'm saying that that's the kind of experience that I'm having because these systems are all working intentionally or not together. Now, here's where it becomes even more interesting as it relates to the controversy, right? So the director of the game, there was this whole kind of, we have to boycott this game because you can you can send your character into a gay love fest with one of the characters in the game. And people are upset about it. I like this guy. Yorch Torch says, our boycott is working. Huge victory. The game is already trending. And it's like, bitch, the game just sold 1 million copies in a day. Shut up. People are buying it. People are loving it. There's no boycott that's working on this fucking game. But regardless, though, people are upset because you can have a gay relationship in the game if you choose to. And what they didn't like, or at least if you go to this Smash JT article where he's saying this guy's a liar. In the original game where you played this same character, someone asked him on Twitter, hey, can I make choices about this guy where you're a gay dude? And he said, no, you're playing a character who is a straight white Christian man. And so, no, you cannot have gay relationships with this character, right? And now in this sequel, you can. So people are now going, wait a minute, what's going on, man? Why are you a liar? The DEI people must have gotten to him, blah, blah, blah. Now, he hasn't said anything. He's Smash JT's just this anti-everything that's not what Grums likes kind of guy or something. He has videos and shit like that. So whether or not, because the company got bought by Embracer, that they became DEI and they forced this, or this guy had a change of heart, or at a design level or a personal level, I don't know. I really don't care, because fundamentally, you don't have. Okay, so I want you to understand what they're complaining about, right? They're saying, wait a minute, game director, look at your early tweets. You're saying that, now I'll just read it to you. It says, he says, will we have some kind of same-sex romance or any kind of romance? And the director says, romance, no, you will play as Henry, the son of a blacksmith, and he already does have a background where he is not a bisexual or bi or homosexual, but there will be homosexual NPC characters. And he says, no, he's a straight dude. Okay. And they're saying, haha, see, you had a change of heart, you're lying. Well, he also says he's a Christian character, right? So I can dig up graves. I can do all kinds of non-Christian things in the game if I choose to. If you want to play him as a Christian that follows the New Testament at a evangelical level, you can do that. But you ain't stealing bread like I almost did, and you ain't digging up bodies like I did and taking their shit. So why is it that you're focusing on the fact that this game will let you run afoul of him being a Christian guy, which is also what the director said? Where's that written up? Why can I do all these horrible things now, and I always could, and you weren't bitching? But you're writing articles and doing videos about the fact that he lied because you can have a same-sex relationship. That's why so much of this feels like bullshit to me. Because if they were really serious about the art form and going, you said this was the character, and we're upset because either money or a change of heart made you walk away from who that character was, and now he can do anti-Christian things, and he can have a gay relationship, and that's what we're upset about. Then you would bring up all the other stuff. but you're only bringing up the homosexuality, which you don't have to do. I don't plan on playing the character as a homosexual, but you can. And you're not, and you're bringing up the fact that there is one black guy who I haven't gotten to in this new game. I don't know his story. In the original game, he's like, well, there's no black people because there were no black people historically in this area. And now there is one. And maybe that's part of the narrative. We explain where he came from, and now there is. It doesn't mean that no black people could enter the area. It just meant historically in that story, there weren't any black people. In this story, there is. So I just... Scarlet Love says, why are they catering to 1% of the population? Well, first off, let's be clear. It's not 1% of the population. That's number one. The people on that spectrum are bigger than that, okay? But regardless of that, regardless what percentage they are, they're not catering. They're saying, you can make him gay if you want. I don't plan on making him gay. Not that I would have a problem playing a gay character, but he's not gay in the way I'm playing him. Because if I do get to see sexy time parts, I don't want to see two men doing it. I'd prefer to see two women doing it, but I get to see him doing it with a woman. So in Scarlet Love, you don't argue very well or discuss very well. I'm talking about this specific game at the moment. I'm talking about this video game. He says, or she says, or whoever they are, Scarlet says, David, stop with the one black guy. I mean, black people are literally the main characters in everything we consume nowadays. Stop it. Nah, you're trolling, first off. Second off, what? There's one dude in here, and he's a black guy, and it's not your main character. So what? I don't know what you're talking about. And so here's what I would say is, whether or not the DEI ghost that you guys seem to believe in got to this guy or not, I kind of don't care. It's an amazing game, and he's basically letting you role play it in different ways. Why are you upset that you can role play it as a gay guy? You don't have to. Do I think it would be interesting if he does role play it as a gay guy, and because homosexuality back then was looked on even worse than it is today, that the way the citizens deal with you is different? I would think that would be amazing. I wouldn't support that behavior, but I would support that historical representation of that behavior in this kind of game that prides itself on being that authentic. This is not Assassin's Creed. They go out of their way to say, we're trying to make this an authentic simulation best as we can. But why are they upset there, but they're not upset that, again, the guy's a Christian, but he's robbing graves? That's okay. Well, you don't have to rob graves. No. And you don't have to be gay in the game either. It doesn't matter, Scarlet. Scarlet says, Jaffe, why does this need to be a thing? We're both in the same age group. We never had this in past games. Nobody cared about their sexual preference. Yeah, and they do now. I don't care. What do you care? There's plenty of games where the sexual preferences of the characters never come up. This is not one of them. Why are you so threatened by it? That's the fascinating question to me. Although we did have gay people in Jet Moto. Back in 96, we had gay people in Twisted Metal Black. Twisted Metal Black back in 2001. But okay, now he's just trolling. Okay. But yeah, I am curious about why they're so bothered by it. I understand if you, I would get it if they were saying, hey man, I've been playing Kratos since I was snuck it from my parents when I was 12. And now the new one comes out and Kratos is bisexual. And you are forced to play Kratos as a bisexual man. I would say, okay, I probably wouldn't sign off on that if I had creative power over that. But that's not what's happening. Oh, I see. Now, see, at least you're being honest. Okay, I don't respect your opinion, but I respect you finally, Scarlet Love, getting to the meat of your issue. Thank you for that. A lot of people will not write what you just wrote. And I appreciate it. He says, why am I threatened by it? Because it's promoting perversion. Okay, that is fair. I think you are wrong. I think you are ignorant and judgmental and cruel. And you lack any understanding of biology when it comes to saying that homosexuality is some sort of problem or perversion, given that it exists in all the animal kingdoms, or we only have one animal kingdom, you know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate that. Thank you for that, buddy. Because most people in your camp, see, when you say that, that's just kind of like saying, oh yeah, I have a problem with gay people. I don't like them. And then you're like, so I don't want to be around them in my games. I don't even want the option for them to exist in my game. I go, I mean, seriously, you have no idea how refreshing that comment is. Because then just fucking that, I don't agree with what you're saying, but the logic finally tracks. The pieces fall into place and you go, that's why you don't like it. I got it. But you guys are trying to create all these narratives about why it's just admit it. Thank you, buddy. Now I get it. You think it's perverted. Excellent. Jaffe, I don't agree with you, but I mean, excellent for that honesty. Thank you. Jerry, and I'm not saying that's the reason don't come at me, everybody else. I'm not saying that's why everybody else may or may not have a problem with it, but that's why some people do. And that's why this person does. And I appreciate that. Jerry, thank you, buddy. He says, thank you for the super chat. He says, Jaffe, you're going to play Kingdom Come Deliverance more on the stream. I enjoyed watching your gameplay the other day. Yes, I would be stunned if I'm not playing it today or tonight on stream. 100%. Thank you for that support. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay. If the gameplay's fun, says Rob, and the story's good, I don't care what they add. Yeah, no, it's a great fucking game, man. It's excellent. But anyway, love it, hate it, I don't care. What I will tell you is this, though, man. If you love video games and you are even somewhat curious about this game, it would be a real shame for you to miss out on it, because even if the main character was gay as canon, because you can, you can make choices in the game where you end up having a gay romance. It would be a real shame if you walk away from it because of that, because it really is great, but it is slow. It is very, I love this guy's name in the chat. Trees Go to War. That's the best. It is slow. It can be slow. I'm stunned that I'm sticking with this fucking game. But it's so goddamn immersion. It's really immersive. So anyway, okay. Let's move forward. Let's look at some new games. Let's all agree that we can enjoy watching new games. Also, Tech, can you put it on the list? If we are going to be on this screen more often than not, which we might, I need to make sure that the sponsorship stuff on this screen is living over on this screen as well. Because otherwise,
can do.
Yeah. So I need to put that together today for tomorrow's show. Okay. This game is out today. Big Helmet Heroes. This is their launch trailer. It's 1 minute long. Don't have a goddamn shit fit. Let's watch it together as pals do. All of your messages showed up, Scarlett. I'm just not reading them because I get your point. Now you've become boring to me. I want to play this. This looks fun. Ooh. Ooh. I want to play. This looks awesome. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what the reviews are. I might pick that up tonight. Yeah, total game night game. Let's see. Big Helmet Heroes, and it better be crossplay. Big Helmet Heroes Metacritic. Give us a good review. I want to play this thing. Oh man, 61. Oh man, why? Action adventure beat 'em up. Loony ways you can go, gratifying sounds, troubling bugs and design choices throw a kink in the system, doesn't decrease the charm. Let's read the worst one. There's a lot to like, it's delightfully silly, but substantial patches are required to fix the game before contemplating a purchase. Okay, well, I'll wait. But I like games like this. I'm a fan of games like this. Oh my God, Scarlet, nobody is saying we can't have a conversation about it because of the overlords. Tell me you don't really believe that. We talk about this on this show all the time. And you may struggle to believe this. You're not bringing anything new to the conversation. You don't have any evidence that's new or proof. You're tainted with your take on this shit. And I'm sorry, but it's not interesting. You know? Yeah, I'll wait. I might be free pretty soon for sure. All right. I had another one, another video I wanted, a trailer. Where did it go? It was IGN. Hang on. Mixtape. I'm really waiting for mixtape. You know what we tried to sing last night at karaoke was the song that's in mixtape from Roxy Music, More Than This. That's a fucking hard as fuck song to sing, man. You wouldn't think it. Who made the Big Helmet game? It does look good. Let's see. Let's see who the developer is. Here you go. Close, accept, and close. Who are you guys? Who are you knuckleheads who made this crazy game? Local co-op. Is it bet? It's just local? Oh my God, fuck you. Is it just local? Yeah, no. Exalted Studio or Dear Villagers. Is it local? Hang on. Is Big Helmet Heroes online? It is limited. Only supports local co-op? Oh, fuck you guys. No, thank you. No, thank you. There it goes. Nope. Okay. Let me go to IGN's YouTube page because they had a couple of new trailers I wanted to look at. I don't have any problem with local co-op. I'm just saying if it's only local co-op, I'm not interested. All right. Videos. Okay, there were two. Oh, Dream Cage. I don't even know what that is. I just like the name of it. Let's take a look. I love games like this. Okay. Oh, it's available now. I'll have to check it out. And then this other one I wanted to see. There you go. I might want to see that movie Love Hurts. Shiver Me Timbers. I want to see this one. Let's see what this is.
And now, the full trailer for the Popeye comedy horror film, Shiver Me Timbers.
Oh, it's a movie. Oh, I thought it was a game. Fuck it. Okay. All right. Well, look, my dear delightful friends, there's the show for the morning. Okay. We of course will be back. It's 2:30 now. We have an afternoon show lined up, which I'm looking forward to. There's a lot of cool stuff to talk about. I got to look up Heroes of Hammer Watch. Somebody was telling me. Let me do that. The next show, let's shoot for 5. Let's shoot for. I've already got it all planned, so I just need to eat and get some chores done. 2:30, between 5 and 5:30, and that will be a Jaffe Talks, which is going to be much more, much more free flowing. We got some game news, of course, if anything is dropped. Dark Match, the movie, Mark? I have not. No. Hello, Doug. But I want to. It's on my list. Don't forget this weekend, Saturday, we're going to be playing the Complex Saturday morning. Don't forget to like the stream. But yeah, we'll do game news this afternoon and then just weird news. We'll do more call-ins, much more of a, interactive episode, not a gabbing games. But hey, Scarlett, if you want to watch and call in, call in. I think you're a troll. Like, I think you're like that energy vampire in What We Do in the Shadows. But if you really believe it, I think you're out of your mind and you are a relic of a lost time. But sweet, man, call in. But not right now because we're wrapping up. But that'll be around 5 o'clock today. And I should be streaming some, what's that game called? Kingdom Come, maybe in the meantime or after. Okay. Let's wrap it up. Be well, be safe. Tech, thank you. Super chats, give super chats and gift memberships. Thank you. Welcome to new members. If you liked what you like, consider a subscription. Consider a membership at any tier. You can watch the Complex with us this weekend. Hell, maybe we'll do Pot and Popcorn and watch some Dark Match this weekend too. Also, like it on the way out. Unless you don't like it, then give it a thumbs down so I can know, and I'll ask you, hey, what's wrong with it? What can I do better? In the meantime, though, take it easy. Have a great rest of your afternoon. I'll see you in a couple hours. Bye, you guys.